Hey everybody, welcome back to the Help Action. It is episode Big 21. We are back and excited to continue the exciting adventure of these awesome companions here. But first, before we get started on anything else, we do have a couple of announcements that we need to get through at the top of the show. To start us off, this is a charity stream. Iris, what charity are we supporting?
Well, Evan, once again, here in episode 21, we are supporting the Transgender Law Center. Founded in 2002, the Transgender Law Center is the largest trans-specific, trans-legal organization in the United States. Their tireless efforts to defend and advance the rights of transgender and gender non-conforming people have resulted in precedent-setting victories in areas including employment, prison conditions, education, immigration, and healthcare. In addition to their legal work, they also organize community-specific programs such as Black Trans Circles, the Disability Project, the Black LGBTQIA+ Migrant Project, and Positively Trans that inform and empower trans and gender nonconforming folks across America. We cracked 3K last stream, which we are very happy about.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
It was like right at the end.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
So, our ultimate goal is 5K. As you may or may not know, trans legal battles are kind of a thing going on in America right now. I won't dwell too much on that at the moment because it's a bummer. But any little bit helps. If you just want to donate like $1 or $2 to them, that would be super cool. If you can donate more than that, that would also be rad. All donations, regardless of size, you will get to put a little message in, and we'll read them at the end of the show. So if you want to hear us read whatever you want us to read live on air, you can totally do that.
I would like to add something where if you did donate from here on out and you would like any of the characters to sort of read it in character for you, you are more than welcome to label that, because I want to put the pressure on these folks to do some of this too.
This is a concept I am being introduced to right now.
Yep, nobody's been told about this until just now, so good luck.
The idea is so new that we don't even know how we feel about it.
That's right. You have to smile and accept because you're live on camera.
That's right.
Awesome. So that's our charity, and if you would like to donate, we have a bunch of places you can do that. Robin is talking about our social links. Go ahead, Robin.
We have social things. You're on one of them right now. It's called Twitch.
Wow.
Or you're watching this on YouTube, which also is on the internet.
And social.
And social.
Yeah.
And both of those things are great. Smash that like, smash that subscribe. We also have a Twitter and an Instagram. You can follow those things and find out when we, maybe sometimes we'll record an episode on Sunday night instead of Wednesday and then air it on Wednesday.
Do a little special something.
Yeah.
We do bonus episodes on Saturdays sometimes too, where we play other games. It's cool.
Yeah.
And if you're one of those, HTTP types, you can also check us out at our website, thehelpaction.com.
And so that website has all our links, everything that they talked about. It's all there. Easiest place to find everything that you need. In addition to our schedule, which is what, Nero?
It's every Wednesday. I was going to say every day, but no.
It's every
not
day.
it.
We play D&D here every day.
Never end.
I mean, if you
Please.
rewatch the episodes every day, we're here every day for you exclusively. But no, it's to catch us live. It's every Wednesday, 7 p.m. PST. No other time zones exist. Right here on twitch.tv/thehelpaction.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's it for our announcements. We do have one other fun sort of bit of information. We did hit affiliate on Twitch, so thank you so much, everybody, for that and for supporting us through this journey. In addition to that, since the start of the campaign, and in some of my other campaigns too, I've been using this app that I use on my iPad. You can get it on macOS. It's called Encounter Plus. It works really well for mapping out encounters and running initiative and keeping track of like your characters, everybody's hit points, status effects. You can map like how big a spell circle is going to be. You can drag and drop everything wherever it is. It calculates like distance for your characters that are moving. And now they have like cool line of sight and lighting tools and all this kind of stuff to bring your maps to life. I've been using that a bunch. It's been awesome. And every time I've reached out to them, they have a little Discord. And I just get a response and an answer like incredibly fast. So I just wanted to say thank you to them for being really awesome and supporting me and making it to where I'm able to do this without having to sit there and Google stuff and try to figure it out all by myself, and just being awesome. And so, as such, I put a little picture of their name down where we always show the map directly below me, and you can go check them out on the App Store if you have an iOS device of any kind. But that aside, I think it's time for us to hop into the review of our last episodes and then tonight's game. So, where we left off, the party had made their way all the way to Cragmaw Castle to rescue their friend Gungeon Rockseeker, who had originally hired them to do some work and was kidnapped before the work was ever completed. So rescuing him from there, from the clutches of this king, a bugbear king in this Cragmaw Castle, they were able to pull him out as he was sort of left in a position of being utterly exhausted, beaten within an inch of his life, barely sort of hanging on, and successfully defeating all of the monsters and enemies in this castle. The party then decided to make their way southward back to Phandalin after Gundren had told them that, hey, we now have the map to go to Wave Echo Cave. That's the place you've been trying to get to since the very start. This map is what started this whole conflict. Who else has the map as the Black Spider? And they're already there. So Gundren let you know that you are racing the Black Spider. You are trying to get to Wave Echo Cave, and even more so, something called the Forge of Spells, a place where powerful magical artifacts can be crafted within this cave before the Black Spider does. Now, knowing that they're already there, and that the cave is also infested with all sorts of undead and monsters, you've got a little bit of prep to do, but first things first, you've got to get back to Phandalin, because as fate would have it, the entrance to the cave is just maybe a half day's travel eastward of Phandalin, right next to where you started your adventure, sitting under your noses the whole time. So the party departed from Cragmaw Castle, and on their way back were accosted by several flying creatures with deer-like heads and bodies of eagles called peritons that threatened to swoop down, pick them up, and drag them off. But luckily they were able to avoid any serious injury, and thanks to turning Gundren invisible with a little bit of practical magic from glass, he was able to hide and not get swept away by one of these massive flying creatures. So after killing them, we now pick up today's episode in the back of the cart, continuing on the road southward in the direction of the cave where you had first met Ymik, Cragmaw Cavern. So, making your way in that direction, Gundren still hiding underneath the sort of seat of the cart, all of you exhausted from this brief battle with these peritons. What is it that you would like to do?
Oh shit, they got Gundren. Where's Gundren?
It's okay. He's invisible, but alive. Unless he died after I made him invisible.
I think we'd see his body then, wouldn't?
Yeah.
Are the horses okay?
Are they going?
Yeah, how are Jesse and Big Rig?
Oh yeah.
They look spooked and eyes wild, sort of snorting, pawing at the ground with their hooves. They could definitely use some calming if someone would like to make an animal handling check to do so.
Animal handling, like, +1. Does anybody have higher than a +1 for animal handling?
I sure do.
As you are sort of making your way over to check out these, you do hear from sort of underneath the seat like a, are they going?
Oh, Gundren.
Holy
They're
shit.
gone. Yeah.
And sort of a shuffling of items in the back of the cart as the invisible form of Gundren sort of pushes some of the things he barricaded himself with. Are you still holding the spell glass, or is it dropped?
I think it got caught in crossfire. I was saying I dropped it.
Oh, you dropped it. Okay. So as he rolls out and you drop the spell, he just sort of apparates in plain sight, and a dirty, exhausted, and now also terrified Gundren is just sort of laying on his back, looking up at you from the bottom of the cart, like, thanks for the help.
Sorry about that, man.
No, it's all right. Magnet for trouble, I suppose.
I am going to hand Gundren one of my short swords, the one that I'm no longer wielding. Just, good to have. Maybe later tonight I can, show you some sparring, whatever. But, just,
I'm
Keep
not
it on.
too shabby with a blade. At least some of you have seen me fight before. But, you know, I'm not one
Fully
of you.
believe you.
You can tell
I
he's
watched
just sort of
Killer Guy.
doing everything he can to save little bits of pride. Who rolled that animal handling check, and what did you get?
Let me do that now.
And let me grab
It is
something.
15.
15? Yeah, no problem.
Ooh.
One moment, please. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm like in sneeze purgatory. I feel like it's gonna happen, but
If you do, put your finger right under your nose and press up a little bit, then you won't sneeze.
is that real?
It's real.
It's around.
It really, really works.
Good.
Cool. As you manage to calm Jesse and Big Rig, the horses sort of return to their normal, docile, calm natures. You can tell there's like just that slight froth of sweat building underneath their coats, but after a little encouraging words and soothing voices, they settle back down and are prepared to carry you the rest of the way on your journey. Is there anything anyone would like to do before you hit the road again?
Could I take a look at whichever corpse is the closest of the, what is it, the Peritons? Periton?
Sure. There's one maybe 20 or so feet away that had sort of crashed and tumbled and skidded across the ground.
Yeah.
And you sort of hop off the cart and make your way over to it. What are you trying to discern as you check it out?
I'm trying to discern if they were magically summoned or if this is just like wildlife in this area that we need to worry about now.
Make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. Hey, 27.
27. You immediately know that they're wildlife because if they were magically summoned, they probably would have disappeared after death. And they definitely do not look alive anymore. They are not necessarily uncommon around these parts, but they are definitely not just like regular creatures. They are some bizarre mishap of magic. Similar to the way I'd sort of discussed owlbears. They are the results of people doing things with magic that they probably shouldn't be doing.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, are these things edible? Because, you know, most birds are edible and deer are edible.
It could
But I guess
be.
if they're carnivores, then they probably don't taste very good.
They're definitely predatory species.
Yeah, maybe never mind. Just curious, I guess.
Bree, who has definitely eaten a lot of roadkill in her life, just carves a little bit off just to see.
It
later.
is stringy, and the muscle is like so dark red, purplish red, that it's almost black. There is definitely something foul about just the very nature of this creature.
Ew.
Mm,
I'm sorry I asked.
Yeah, Bree, eat it.
I changed my mind.
It's like if you took dark meat and made it like even worse. Like what's the? Never mind. Obscure reference. I'm not gonna make.
Okay.
Evan's vegetarian, everybody. Give him a break. He doesn't know.
Hey, I watched Top Chef. That's what I was gonna reference, so I'm not gonna do it, but it's okay.
Everybody has that.
It's like really bad tempeh.
That's my true passion. All right, so as you decide that these large creatures are probably not edible, they are probably what's the word I'm looking for? Butcherable for sellable parts in some way, shape, or form, but it would take a while.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
It's
We're not that
worth
hard
it,
up
we're
on
gonna-
money.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Yeah.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
Gotta
you might
be
be able to
a
like
thing.
sell the antlers for a couple silver or something like that, but it's
Yeah.
nothing that's gonna earn you just a crazy amount of money that you've
We're-
landed on a gold mine here.
We're
So,
like kind of loaded right now, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of money here.
that's true. Okay. As you all gather back up and spur Jesse and Big Rig back into action, you continue to roll the cart down the road, and at this point, I would say it's probably maybe 3 or 4 o'clock. You would wager, based on sort of your previous trip to the same area, that you'll be hitting the area sort of beyond Yimik's Cave, where that sort of cave road that you are currently on meets the main road by about dusk. So you could either continue to push on through the night if you would like to. You may suffer some sort of exhaustion from doing that if you wanted to, or you can just camp near there for the evening. It is your choice.
If we wanted to try to push on to Phandalin, we would get there at like midnight, 1, something like that.
So normally you can travel 8 hours in a day. If you want to continue to push further beyond that for each hour of travel past that, you have to make a check. But I would say since you're in a cart, I would give everybody who is not the one currently awake, because you're sort of resting in the back of the cart, advantage on that Constitution saving throw against the exhaustion.
And sorry, Phandalin is a little more than a day away.
So Phandalin's a day and a half from Yimik's Cave, and you are about half a day, maybe a few hours from Yimik's Cave. So you've got in total just under 2 days of travel left to get back.
Okay.
Well, then I say let's just get as far as we can for tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, as you trundle onwards, eventually the sun rests behind the pines and various trees. Far to the distance, you can see the sort of rolling hills, and right as you're just about to reach the cave, you get to an area where the forest in front of you that has been blocking your view the whole time drops out of view, and just beyond it, you can see the last little bits of sunset glimmering off the distant Sea of Swords far to the west. You have made it back not too far from the coast, relatively close to the shoreline, and you know that the high road that will carry you back to the Triport Trail, and then back further to Phandalin is not too far off from here. But as it stands, you probably could travel for maybe another hour or so beyond this if you wanted to, or you could use this familiar area to camp.
I'm down for keeping going for another hour, just to reduce the amount of time we have to spend.
Sure.
Sounds
That
good.
sounds good.
So as you carry on for about another hour or so, as you search for a decent place to camp, whoever is helming the cart or trying to look for this, go ahead and make a survival check for me.
I can be the driver.
Okay.
That is
Survival.
you said survival?
Mhm.
14.
14. Not too bad. You manage to find, as the road sort of pushes along past the cave, you do eventually find the high road. It's not terribly far off, and then you continue southward along it, sort of making your way towards that cutoff just beyond the stand where you'd found Gundren's finger the first time. And it's pretty open here, but you do manage to find an area where there's sort of two hills that you can sort of camp between, at least to shield your vision from either direction on the road to throw off any would-be bandits, but it also does block your view of anything that would be coming your way, so it's your choice.
I would say camp in the valley, and then whoever keeps watch sits on top of the hill.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it seems smart.
As you unload the cart and begin to make your camp, any preparations for the evening that are specific that anyone would like to do, or just sort of carrying on through tomorrow?
I can't think of anything I want to.
Yeah, I don't have anything
Pretty good.
specific.
Okay.
I feel like we're all. I think we need to get back to Phandalin as quick as we can, and I think that's.
Oh yeah. I got something.
Oh, just kidding. Do whatever you want.
Sorry.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
Spend the night here anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, since I get 3 charges per day, I might as well use one since I haven't used it yet. Can I use my Devil's Horn to detect the presence of aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of us? I realize there probably won't be any, but I want to get in the habit of it because the one time that I do detect something, I'm going to feel real smart that I did.
That is a very pragmatic approach and helpful. Okay, so as you pull out the wand and concentrate, as far as using this item goes, would you like to sort of go for it, or do you want me to describe how things look, or it's completely up to you?
Okay. For this particular thing, I'm going to say that I'm going to use it a little bit more like a dowsing rod. So I'm going to be essentially balancing it on like the tip of one finger, and kind of while essentially casting the spell. And if there's any sort of like a creature that fits this description in the area, it'll probably point to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you
Like a Ouija planchette or
balance this sort of long, curved, almost helixed wand on one finger, and it sort of trembles for a second. As you finish muttering the incantation for the spell, it almost fixes in place and very slowly rotates. And as it turns a full turn, it then just sort of topples back into your hand. It doesn't seem like it has detected anything fitting that description around you within 60 feet.
That's wild, because I was expecting it to point to Ambrose.
Oh, that's right. Faye is one of those. So it does
Gotcha!
point at Faye. Yep, it does point at Ambrose.
I was expecting it to point at you.
Discovered my secret.
So yes, it does, as it sort of rotates around it, points directly at Ambrose.
And I know it's working.
Yeah, and you do hear sort of within your ears,
He cut out of it.
Faye. Just a whisper of the word Faye. Sort of touches just almost the back of your neck.
Spooky. Hi, Ambrose.
I'm just like living my life over here, just like sitting, and just looking out at the world, and I just see like shit pointing at me, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk over to Oleander. Is that a Fadar?
It is now.
I thought that wasn't a real thing, but it's real. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I had to attune it first. You know. You can't really say you had Fadar until you met a real one first.
Can I overhear this conversation?
I would say it's probably happening pretty close to you, yeah.
I just sit and consider that maybe it's a good thing that my school is transfiguration or whatever, and just think about all the different things I could turn into and leave. But I won't, because I'm not that skilled yet, so.
That's the only thing keeping you, though.
The only thing driving you to
sorry.
study this book further is the idea of sprouting wings and flying far, far away from these people. Excellent.
I mean, it's many things, but that's one of them.
Amazing.
As you all gather around, take out your rations, have a little bit of dinner, continue to joke, and do what you can to enjoy yourselves, despite the sort of ticking clock in the back of your heads, all reminding you that you have somewhere very important to be, and a very quiet Gundren sort of sitting in the corner, trying to do what he can to stay out of everyone's way. You haven't seen him be this sort of quiet and respectful of others ever. All of you are very used to him sort of inserting himself into the center of attention at all times, and this is unique. He's tired and he's troubled. That being said, as the bit of sunlight that fades in the west goes from pink to purple to sort of a deep blue-black, is anyone keeping watch for the evening?
I can.
I can take the swing shift. I usually do.
Sure.
I've gotten used to sleeping for 4 hours and then waking up and then sleeping for another 4 hours.
Something that we have not been doing that I think I reminded Robin of, or Bria of rather, but I did not really talk to anybody else about. You have 2 additional party members with you at all times that could also be
Right.
taking these watches.
Yeah.
We did talk about that.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
In the
no,
form
we
of
did.
Kevin and Winchester. So, should you ever wish to delegate, you're welcome to. But if you want to take them yourselves to chat or just have a little time to stay up, you can do that too.
Sure.
So, taking
Yeah.
the first watch then is Ambrose.
Yep.
Cool. So, as the rest of you bed down, you're ready for sleep. Go ahead and make your perception check for me, and we will get started with our rest for the evening.
That's a 12.
12. The rest of your comrades, Gundren included, sort of circle up and find comfort around a small cooking fire, I assume, of some kind.
Yeah.
You make your way up to the top of the hill, maybe 30 or 40 feet from the camp, where you have a clear view of your friends on one side and a clear view of the ocean in the west, the trail leading up to the north and south, up over the other hill just further south of you, and a really good view of anything that might be coming along that road. It's quiet, it's peaceful. Crickets in the grass are singing, the occasional bird or bat overhead, but beyond that, your rest is undisturbed. Is there anything that you want to do during your sort of 4 hours of free time up here on this little grassy hill?
Could I study my compendium a little more?
Sure, yeah. As you do, go ahead and make just your regular old straight intelligence check for me.
I'm so big.
Actually, I'm sorry. Are you proficient in investigation? Investigation or Arcana, even. I'll let you use either of those skills to do this from here.
I'm proficient in Arcana.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and make this an Arcana check then.
Oh, okay. Should I re-roll? Or...
You can use whatever. Just add your Arcana modifier instead.
Oh, okay. So it's an 18.
18? Nice. Looking over the pages, going through some of the spell notation, you're starting to connect more and more and more of these options here. There's a spell here that it's a little beyond your grasp at the moment. But as far as you can tell, it has some pretty intense power as far as shaping the way time flows around a creature. And as you flip through the pages, it's not one, but two, sort of back to back on either side of a page, almost in reversed notation. At first you thought it was the ink bleeding through, but no, there's subtle differences. One of them almost written in mirror. As you sit and study these, you recognize one as haste and the other as the spell slow. And while you're not quite able to pull them off yet, they're definitely something that you recognize lies within the pages of this book. So you can go ahead and mark down haste and slow as 2 additional spells that you will be able to unlock when you hit a level that can cast those spells.
Sick.
Dude, Bree hasted. She already has like 2 attacks.
She can have more than 2.
Make you just huge and fast. So how many hours would that be? Just an additional 4?
Yeah, I'd go ahead and give yourself 4. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
As your rest concludes, you make your way back down the hill, pretty pleased with yourself, in a good mood, happy about your study, but also just sort of feeling the wear of keeping an eye on the road and sort of flipping back and forth to your book the whole time. Well done. Who is next in the order?
I'm up next.
As you go ahead and wake up Oleander for her watch.
Kind of kick the bedroll a little bit in a gentle way, in a kind way, a gentle kick.
Thank you. I was going to say.
A gentle kick.
Yeah. like a hey, it's your turn.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
nice.
I'm up.
Unless you want to send your intern out.
But he's so cute when he's asleep.
And you look
I've-
over and
I've got
Oleander sort of looking up at you from her bedroll with Kevin just curled up in like a little weasel cinnamon roll.
Oh,
he's so
on her chest.
I'm not gonna wake him up. He's so precious. I
Can
can
I-
do this.
Can I gently like scoop him up and
Yes.
place him? Do I have to roll for that?
Like a warm oatmeal cookie.
I would say if you would like to, sure, go ahead and make a sleight of
Okay.
hand check, and
Okay.
I'll do that against
Just for fun.
A weasel bite check.
Yeah.
how hard is he sleeping. Okay.
That's a 9.
Well, he is out harder than that because he did not roll
Okay.
well. So as you
Thank
pick him
God.
up, he just does that full like flop thing that like ferrets do when you try to
Noodle.
pick them up and they're just like dead to the world. Yeah, it's pretty cute.
I try not to cry as I put him down on the ground.
Great. All right, Oleander, as you now have a weight
Okay.
lifted from your chest, literally, you may begin your watch, making your way up to the top of the hill, and Ambrose, you get comfortable and make your bed for the evening. Go ahead and make your perception check.
That is a 16.
Ooh.
As you gaze out at the world around you in mostly darkness. There's enough starlight out at the moment due to the clear day before for you to see at least vague shapes of grass and trees and ocean, and your dark vision out to a certain range assists a lot with that. But you see a single cart making its way along the road. It's headed sort of from the direction of Neverwinter, far to the north, on its way southward.
Can I...
Sort of slowly making its way. It looks like it's like a single person cart from this distance with one beast of burden of some kind and a single rider.
Okay. Do they... I mean, you know, do they look like they're looking for trouble or anything? Or are they
Make a
just...
perception check.
Okay. Oof. That's gonna be a 10.
10. Hard to tell at this distance. They're maybe 200-300 feet out. You can just sort of see the shape of the cart approaching slowly on the road, but they aren't approaching at speed, and they seem relatively alone. Doesn't seem like too much of a threat, but
Yeah.
you've been
I'll-
burned by such assumptions before.
I will keep a sharp eye on them as they pass. Also, can I like? I guess there's no possibility of me like necessarily like hunkering down, so not as easy to spot from the road or anything like that. Or
I'd say you'd be able to, if you would like to, try to find like a patch of grass to lay down in and
Yeah,
conceal
yeah.
at least the silhouette of your body against the sky.
yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, make a
Will I
stealth
make
check for
a
me.
stealth check for that?
Yeah, please.
Okay, and that's going to be an 11.
11. You hunker down, lay down. From this angle, you don't think you'd be seen. It's that sort of strange, how would I look from this angle that you do when you're playing hide and seek? And as you watch this cart very slowly come down the road in your direction, it disappears just for a brief moment as it begins to rise the hill that you're on, and then sort of peeks out over the top, and you can see sitting on it is a single figure with sort of a wide-brimmed floppy hat, with a very small cart and a single horse, and they just seem to be sort of carrying along and sort of looking up, holding the hat up, single sort of shepherd's crook on their lap. It's apparent that they have sort of seen the low light of the campfire and are just sort of curiously gawking as they are sort of coming over the hill. But they don't seem to alter their speed, alter their course, slow down, try to hide, anything like that. They just continue slowly down the hill into the middle, and as they pass the camp, they sort of gaze out at everyone sleeping. There's almost a look of concern on their face, and you just sort of whip the horse in, carries along. Doing anything? Going to speak with them, or just sort of letting them pass by?
I'm just letting him pass by.
Okay. As they rise up over the hill and then disappear over the horizon, they're gone.
Okay, well, most exciting thing that happened all night, I suppose.
Got passed by a cart.
Yep. Wow.
That was
The
crazy.
excitement never stops.
Whoa. Okay, and we're gonna go to break, everyone. On that cliffhanger,
There you
awesome.
go.
With that, the rest of your watch goes relatively uninterrupted, aside from the small bit of traffic on the road.
Cool.
Anything else that you would like to do during your time, since that only took up a few moments?
I don't have enough light to like read by, do I?
You do have dark vision, so I would say yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess I work on a few more business cards just to give me something to do with my hands.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Pull out your little utensils and scratch out a few with your quill and ink, and
It's a way to pass
No,
the time.
good. Yeah.
Like I don't need more right now. It's just something I kind of do to keep from just staring out into space, I suppose.
Yeah, some people sharpen blades or fletch arrows. You make business cards. It's fine. Yeah. Great.
My weapons of choice.
As you make your way back down the hill towards the camp to wake up the third watch of the evening, the light in the far distant east, well over the mountains and the plains of the north, begin to grow slightly lighter at the coming sunrise of the next day. Who are you waking up?
Oh, Bree, you're up.
Okay.
I was going to say, I don't think we said.
Yeah,
So I
that's
was
fine.
like, well, whoever Oleander
50-50,
chooses.
yeah.
Yeah.
As you wake Bree up,
I'll wake up Winchester too, and as I keep watch, I want to put him on my shoulder backwards so that we have full 360.
okay. Oh, did you put him back into owl form?
He's in
Yeah.
owl form, yeah.
From that fight.
Cool. Yeah, as he sort of gets comfortable and a little sharper than you would like, but you can tell it's affectionate, digs the claws into your shoulder and is facing forward the same direction as you, but just rotates the whole owl head backwards.
Forgot about that part.
And as you climb up to the top of the hill, bidding Oleander goodnight, go ahead and make your perception check.
It's with advantage, right?
I
With
would
him?
say it's advantage, yeah, with the two of you.
Ooh, good. Oh, not much better. Oh, boy, 7.
7. You find yourself nodding off pretty quickly. You reach up and sort of slap your face and wake up, and the sunlight is bright in your eyes, and you've sort of brushed a bug off your cheek. And as you look back down, panicked at like the rest of your friends, they are sleeping soundly in the morning sun, and nothing is amiss, but you did sleep through most of your watch.
Whoops.
Better not tell them.
I feel rested.
Sure do.
I'll go and wake everybody up and not tell them.
Okay, cool. As you all load your things up and begin for the next day's travel, doing your preparations, what would you like to do? Anything in particular, or just hitting the road and doing what you can to get back fast?
Oh, was that a long rest?
That was a long rest, so everybody go ahead and take your long rests. You're all set on that.
Gundren's one less exhaustion.
Gunton is one less level of exhausted. That's correct.
Is he at 2 or 1?
At this point, I believe he had 3. Now he's at 1. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So you can tell that like a lot of the areas where he was sort of bruised and swollen, like his eye is just sort of starting to peek open for the first time since you've seen him. The dark circle on the other side from the bruising is turning that sort of nasty yellowy color instead of just that fresh purple anymore. But despite the the agony he looks like he's in, he looks a lot better than he has. Okay. Any particularities for the day before you hop on the road?
I saw a guy on a cart last night. That was interesting.
What?
Okay, it was interesting, but it was the first bit of traffic that we've seen on this road coming the other way in quite a while. So I don't know. I figure I'd mention it.
Did he have like 2 heads?
No, it's just some guy.
Oh.
This guy with a big hat. That's it. Nothing really of note. Just, he seemed a little freaked that we didn't have anybody on watch, but I was hiding stealthily. So,
I'm sure that's what he was concerned about.
I don't know.
Which way was he heading?
Yeah. There?
He was heading up from Neverwinter towards. I'm sorry, Evan. Which way was he?
He was heading south, same direction you're going. So
South,
you'll
same
be
direction
following.
we're going. Yes. Ah,
Oh, so we might see.
so we
him
might
later.
cross by him again.
Back
We
up
can
to
say
him.
hi.
You can give him a big smile and a wave.
Yeah, you could say hi. I was hiding in the shadows and saw.
Don't say that. We got to play the cards close to our chest. What if that is the Black Spider? I doubt that's the Black Spider because they would have killed us immediately. But
You never know. It could be a trick.
I
What
don't know.
looks can kill.
maybe that's Gary, the Black Spider's assistant, or something.
You never know.
Yeah.
Gary the Gray Spider.
Someone added an R in here.
God.
They call me Gary the Gray. Hey, how's it going?
Let's start a new campaign.
Yep, let's start over. Scrap it.
Oh,
Rewriting it. He owns a deli.
Deli
He's a charm at parties. Okay. As you gather your things, hop in the cart, and begin to head southward in the direction of the person that you have dubbed Gary, you are finding it to be a pleasant day, or are you? I don't know why I phrased it that way. Somebody roll for the weather table.
Yeah, weather time.
I mean, the way that weather feels is different to everyone.
I could roll for weather. I don't think I've done that in a while. What is it, a D8 or a D10?
Day, and
It
then
is
you
a-
actually think about it and
Say
decide.
8.
D8. Got
You
it.
say, is it nice out? Yes. Or is it? Unsure.
That felt like such a choose your own adventure moment.
That is a 3.
3. It is clear as you begin to travel, and the further south you go, it starts to get a little chillier, and there's like this heavy wind blowing up, coming from the south. And as you round a bend where the high road goes from south to more of a southeasterly angle, following the coast, up ahead now you can see heavy clouds that sort of loom over the top of the road, where bright sunlight is immediately cut into dark shadow, where the shadows themselves are being cast by the clouds. The wind then sort of hits the group of you, and all at once all of you smell that very telltale petrichor smell just before rain. And then the first few drops hit the dirt, ball up into little mud splotches everywhere, and within 10 to 15 minutes of travel, unless there's anything anyone would like to do now that you can sense that it's about to rain.
Pull my hat down. Who's driving the cart actually?
I could say that I am.
Okay.
As the sporadic drops here and there begin to quicken in frequency and almost triple in size, these large, fat drops just everywhere turn the road to completely dark, no longer just speckled by rainwater, as the rushing sound of rain all around you fills your ears, and you are all, for definitely not the first time in this cart, soaked to the bone along with your supplies in heavy wind.
Oh,
Ugh.
yeah.
And as the wind chill sets in, even underneath your armor and layers of clothing, it is cold and uncomfortable. Gundren, with little to wear, is just sort of shivering and holding himself, his lower leg sort of tucked back underneath the seat where he was hiding when he was invisible, doing his best to sort of cuddle in with some of the supplies. And Winchester. Yes.
I'm just gonna minor illusion. I'm gonna say, like, everyone, chill. This isn't real. I'm gonna minor illusion a fire pit in the middle of the back of our cart, and I'm just gonna put my hands up to it. And say,
What are you doing about? Whoa! Did you set the cart on fire?
no, that's why I just said chill. It's not real. Power of positive thinking, everybody.
You didn't specify what wasn't real.
Can you figure it out?
Well, now I'm assuming it's the fire now, but for a split second I wasn't sure.
No, it's the horses.
You got to say
Well,
something like, "I'm going to create the illusion of a fire back here."
Yeah, I thought that might kind of ruin the fun of doing it.
I'm having fun.
Well, You kids have fun back there, I guess.
You just
I've
hear,
got like a
I'm not.
stick.
I minor illusion a stick with a marshmallow for Ambrose.
Yeah!
But as soon as I do it, the fire goes away because I can only do it.
Ah,
I try to eat it and it just phases through my head.
We can make a real fire.
Yeah, I mean, if we weren't kind of in a rush, I would say we could pull off the road and get out of the rain for a while, but I feel like we should keep going.
You just keep going. We'll be there soon
Yeah.
enough. We
this
would
is
not
the very
have to-
definition of riding hard and putting away wet, I believe. I never understood what that actually meant. I assume it's this. The rain.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Right.
you, Oleander. You've always got to turn a phrase for the occasion.
Just let me know if you need someone to switch out for the horses.
Roger that. I probably will soon because I am quickly regretting not buying a hat as large and comfortable as that one.
So, with today, as you are now back on the main road and capable of traveling at an expedited pace if you would like to, you can choose to travel at a slightly faster pace without risking exhaustion. However, you receive a cumulative -5 to any perception checks that you make while traveling, or to your passive perceptions for being surprised should anything come your way.
I'm down. If you're down.
I am too. I think.
I just want to get out of the rain.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So, that being said, since it is about a day and a half of travel, about 12 hours back to Phandalin, and you have 8 hours of a normal travel day, you can probably get there by just after dark at this rate if you travel and hit the road hard. However,
Perfect.
doing this will run the risk of putting the horses through exhaustion for those last couple hours of travel. They can rest and recover, but they might not be ready immediately after you leave Phandalin to go to Waveko Cave.
I'm wondering if there's any way I could lend these horses a hand on their check with inspiration, but with the way inspiration works, I don't know. Because it's kind of like a long check, and inspiration's like a short. So.
I think it would be okay because inspiration just says a creature and a check, as far as I'm aware. But does that work on saving throws? 'Cause these are saving throws.
That's a good question. Let me see.
Because I know it works on ability checks and like attack rolls, but I'm not sure about saving throws.
Saving throw.
Saving throws? Okay, yeah, and it would work.
Yeah.
You could
So.
potentially,
Yeah, but I think.
yeah. How would you like to do that?
Okay, so I'll come over and just come up to the front and kind of just like whistle a little horse tune.
Horse songs.
A little horse song, and kind of pet them and encourage them, and I'll inspire both Jesse and Big Rig.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and mark off 2 uses of your bardic inspiration, and as they continue along the road, the rain is unrelenting for the most part of the day. But as you continue along, with the rain and the -5 penalty to your perception check, I would like someone, whoever is driving, just to keep an eye on the road and keep everything going here. Whoever's helming this check, go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage, -5.
Hey, Hero. What's your perception score?
Who, me?
Yeah, like what's your modifier for perception?
Don't make
Mine's
it.
a...
Oh, sorry. Fine, I guess I'm still driving.
You can say, "Oh, I'm not very good at it," or "I'm really good at it," but yeah, numbers. Let's.
My perception is not very high. Ambrose, are you a little bit more alert than me?
I look at books all the time, so...
Your eyes must be either very, very good or very, very bad. That doesn't answer my question.
They're very bad.
Okay, then I'm
Yeah.
I should get glasses.
glass.
I've got these eyes,
You got
real
your-
eyes,
You
real.
got your peepers.
You got
Yeah,
Kit Kat eyes.
yeah. If Glass wants to make a perception check, I can assist.
Sure. That would get rid of the
Me,
disadvantage
like-
and make it a straight roll -5 if you'd like to.
All right.
There you go. Since Glass is sitting up in the front with me anyways,
Yeah.
singing horse songs. It makes sense.
Which,
There we go.
yeah,
Not metagaming at all.
We singing horse songs, yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
baby, those horse songs coming through. That's a 20.
Nice.
Wait, but
Nice.
it's 15.
15.
Wow, that's a great roll.
Yeah, as you are sort of wiping rainwater out of your eyes, Oleander sort of comes up and holds a thin strip of cloth over to assist and make sure that rainwater doesn't continue to harry your efforts to just keep an eye on the road as you travel. I was assuming more so tying it on as opposed to holding it the whole time, but that's better.
I just was getting the mental image of like when the cat sits under a faucet and like the water's pouring down in front of it and just going like.
Amazing.
I'm doing that as I'm staring out like the Terminator. Trying to see.
Thirsty?
God. Yeah, as you look about, you do see at this quickened pace, about 3 or 4, maybe 5 hours into your journey, off to the side of the road, what looks like a cart and a single horse. And a small tent.
Hey!
Oh, Oleander, how many horses were on that cart you saw?
Just the one. And there was a guy.
Do I see a guy?
Where's the guy? Does this look like the same card I saw last night? I'm going to do a perception check for that. Actually, can we like slow down and like do we want to take a look at this? Or you're going to
At
just keep
this
going?
rate, due to the range of visibility, you're maybe 60 feet away.
Gang, do we want to investigate or want to keep going?
I
Let's
think
pull up a little closer.
I don't think
Okay.
you're going to stop on the side of the road in the rain unless you have a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
They do have a
All
small
right.
tent built. It looks like they probably are seeking shelter from this rain.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Well, then it's probably fine. All right. If it doesn't look like he's in distress, let's just keep going.
Think so?
I
Yeah.
think we're good.
Don't go looking for problems. That's what I always do.
Alrighty. As you sort of pass on by the small tent, you can see there's sort of the light of some sort of a torch or lantern or something shining from within. And as you pass by, the horse just sort of seems to be shivering in the cold. Yes.
Oh, okay. Can I use my circlet as we're heading towards this to cast some augury?
Sure. I think that's about a 10-minute spell, though. It is isn't it? What's the casting time on that?
Duration instantaneous. Casting time 1 minute. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah. So it'll
Okay,
take you a
so-
minute to do it, but you can if you want to.
Sorry. You were saying no. What do you plan to take with the next 30 minutes? I guess I don't need to
Yeah.
cast it.
Okay.
That's fine. It would take time, and we're good.
Okay, cool.
We go
As you continue on the road and past this small encampment, you push through the rain continually. The wheels of the cart slogging through these deep ruts and large puddles that have formed in the roads, and the horses seem like, although they're pushing at a harder pace, the rainwater is helping keep them cool at the very least. They will probably be needing a break here sometime in the next hour or so, just to give them a bit of time. I'd say that'd probably be maybe 30, 45 minutes or so. If anyone wants to just pull off the road, anything you want to do, take care of, you can do that. Or I will say, knowing that, if you wanted to take that time to do that before this, you can do that. It's up to the party. But as you sort of continue past, you know that sometime within the next hour or so, you will need a break.
Right. Did we want to like take a pit stop sometime in the next hour or so, or?
Yeah, it might be good.
Do it.
Eventually sort of pull off to the side of the road, give the horses a moment to catch their breath, drink a little bit of water out of some of the puddles that have surprisingly clear water in them. Thankfully, rainwater here at the moment. And eat some of the green, wet grass that's laying around. It's like a fresh salad. Anything that anybody
yummy.
here would like to do during this little break? Not quite long enough for a short rest or anything like that, but you have a moment of no cart movement.
Can I take a look around to see if we're being followed?
Sure. It is still raining. And now that you're not moving, you don't have the -5 penalty, but it is still disadvantage on your perception check.
Okay. I still do have. It's still listed on here. I'm not sure if it's still valid. I still have Bardic Inspiration.
That was it.
I think that's dissolved by
Yeah,
now.
it resets after every long rest.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think it resets after an hour.
Oh,
Oh,
10 minutes.
really?
Wow.
Okay.
10
10
minutes.
minutes.
Wow, even shorter. Okay.
Damn, D&D Beyond, you've done me dirty.
And additionally, with that glass, I will save you those two, and we'll just apply them at the point when the horses are going to need to make those checks.
that's kind of what I was trying to figure out. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna keep it marked off, but
Sure.
I'll still take a look around, yeah.
Go for it.
So disadvantage is I roll dice and take the lower one?
Mhm.
I forget this every time. Perception. $12.
12. You can glance up one way down the road. It is dark, stormy, and muddy. And you look the other direction. And honestly, it looks identical, just mirrored, because to the south, you've got heavy trees on the left, road down the middle with the occasional pine or spruce, and then this sort of drop off of a bench that leads to beach and ocean, maybe another 300-400 feet to the west. And it is just miles and miles of this on the high road here. But no, you don't seem
Well.
like you're being followed.
Might as well check.
Smart to check. Okay.
I'm sure that guy will never show up again.
If he does, we'll kill him.
Why do you assume that every single person on Earth who we interact with is somehow relevant to our story? That's so solipsistic.
As you all sort of gather your things, getting ready to get back on the cart, anything else anybody wants to do, take care of during your little super speedy break?
since we're taking this little break now and we're stopping, I will cast Augury.
Sure. What would you like to divine?
just- I would just like to see if we've got any trouble coming on the road. It says in the next half hour, I think.
Okay, yeah, sure. So you take a minute to cast the spell, and as you do, let me make sure I'm reading the spell correctly here.
So it says by like it comes with the circlet. So casting gem
Yeah.
inlaid stick, rolling dragon bones.
So
know,
with
really.
this, it's more of a sitting and focusing.
Okay.
And knowing and understanding what this object does and attempting to sort of tap into some of the latent powers that it holds, you sit for a moment and begin to concentrate on the road that stretches before you. And then as you shut your eyes, you can see the road, and then you sort of zoom out of it and it turns away and becomes sort of a long string, and you can see at various points along it, every time you focus on a point, a memory of yours along that line. And then you back to the present, and then your memory starts moving forward. Blurry, difficult to discern anything. But as you picture the places that you'll go in the next 30 minutes or so, I'm on the wrong page. You hear just this very soft like the ringing of a very, very fine meditative bell.
Mm-hmm.
And although it's unclear as to what this might represent, you get this sort of unshakable feeling of everything's going to be okay.
I will, while staring out at the road, I will just take my finger and just like kind of go across the thin metal circlet and just flick the water and then get back in the cart.
It almost makes, just for you wearing it, as it sort of reverberates in your ears, the same sound as it would make as you run your finger around the outside of a wine glass. And it sort of almost like tickles your temples a little bit.
Yeah, and I start like itching the roof of my mouth.
But it's not unpleasant. It's kind of pretty. Yeah. Seems like the travel ahead, at least for the time being, is pretty safe.
All right.
Back on the road.
Okay. Hopping back on the cart and spurring Jesse and Big Rig back into action, you push them as hard as you had been earlier today, and now nearing, I'd say that was about the 4-hour mark, about halfway through your normal travel day, but you have traveled the equivalent of about 6 hours worth of distance already, which is awesome.
Nice.
You are not maybe another 2 or so hours away from where you would have camped on the way into Phandalin the first time. And as you begin to make your way in that direction, who's driving the cart at this point?
I can take over again.
Okay. As you're riding ahead, I need you to make an animal handling check for me. Just general animal handling.
That is a 23.
23. You immediately recognize these horses are getting tired. We are pushing them. And you sort of look over to Glass, having sort of given you his plan of using that bardic inspiration. This is where that was coming in. I was going to see if you even knew when the horses were doing unwell. As such, they will receive the bardic inspiration at the right time to make these checks. So
This is a story all about how 2 little horses got us back home on time.
Wow.
and though they don't understand it, the tune has a sonorous quality to it that somehow works. Who would like to roll
Smile.
for the horses? It's going to be a Constitution saving throw using the horse stat block, which I'll pull up for you.
Come on, those horses gotta have some decent constitution.
Riding horse.
They're horses.
It is a +1.
Hey, all right.
So
Take any kind of constitution.
whoever would like to do that, what's your bardic inspiration die? Still D6?
D6.
D6. Okay, so I need 2 people to roll a D20 and a D6 at the same time, and then add 1 to that. The goal here is to get over a 10. If you do not,
I'll
get
take
over a
Jesse
10,
if somebody else wants to take Big Rig.
Sure.
Oh,
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, I've got Big Rig.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I shouldn't have volunteered. Oh god. I got a 4.
Wait,
Total?
Oh, no,
with
plus
your
1 is
bardic-
5. 5.
That's
with
a
bardic
D20
inspiration.
and a D6.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a 5.
And then for Big Rig,
Big Rig got a 13.
13. So Big Rig, true to the name, is fine and powering through, but Jesse,
Also true to the name.
yep, is winded and looking tired. And even through the heavy rain, you can see the froth forming on her coat. And yes.
So is Jesse suffering a level of exhaustion? Because I can help with this.
Possibly.
Okay.
Make an animal handling check to see what's going on.
Okay. Uh, 13.
13. It looks like a tired horse.
Okay. Shoot.
You're unsure how this
Oh,
will manifest itself. But yeah, what did you want to do as far as exhaustion goes?
Oh, just I can reduce a level of exhaustion using greater restoration from the
That's right.
You greater
one,
restoration.
one of my magical objects that's in my bags.
It is the
Oh, the
blessing.
charm of restoration.
Yeah, it is the
Yeah.
blessing that Ambrose received from cleansing the shrine in Cragmaw Castle.
Can you use that once a day or just once at once?
I have a limited amount of them. But this feels important enough to where I could definitely spare one.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Are you doing that?
Yeah. Should we like pull off to the side, like
Yeah.
so I'm not like casting spells and falling off the cart?
Sure.
As you sort of pull off to the side of the road, you can see that Big Rig winded, but okay. And then Jesse is just sort of like mouth wide open around the bit and just breathing heavily. Eyes are almost like flitting in and out of being exhausted.
All right. I would like to pat her right on the head and give her some grass and cast Greater Restoration.
Okay. As
Do
you
I need to?
I don't think you have to roll anything for that.
No,
It
it
is
just says to do it.
yeah, it is a very, very powerful spell.
Cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're casting it from the blessing. You don't need material components.
Yep.
Yeah. As you do, you watch as this sort of shimmering field of almost the area where the rainwater was hitting her, instead of it just being the coat, seems to almost raise off of her coat by a few inches for a moment, as there's this almost arcane ward that appears around her. And then she just sort of sits up in a nicer posture than before and seems very suddenly no longer winded.
I pat her on the head again and whisper into her ear that she's the best horse.
She sort of gives you a big horse lip thing on your face somewhere, whatever those are. It's very cute. But this is a smelly, sweaty horse despite the rain. All right, so yeah,
Fine.
you have managed to get your way around a level of exhaustion for your horse, which would have slowed your progress the rest of the way back into Phandalin, but now you were able to continue at full pace. So,
Yay!
anything else anybody wants to do while you're pulled over here, or just hopping back on the road and making your way?
Let's kick it.
Yeah.
Making your way. Okay. Cool. Hopping back on the road and continuing the rest of the way towards Phandalin, you very shortly pass the place you very first camped on your way in just outside, and immediately the memories flood back to you as you begin to turn down the road that curves, seeing Phandalin far in the distance. The rain is blotting out much of the light of the town as it's getting dark here, but you can see around town a few of the lights in the windows beginning to light up, and the occasional torch rushing across the street being carried by somebody seeking refuge from the rain. And you're reminded as you sort of come down this hill of the first red brands that sort of harried you and harassed you on your way into town, and how long it's been and how far you've come since then, and that threat is no longer here. It feels nice. As the horses
Yeah, they're
made-
dead now.
We kicked their ass.
We killed them because they insulted us and for no other reason.
For some other reasons,
Yeah,
I
for
think. For some very salient reasons.
Yeah.
For the slavery thing.
Yeah, the slavery thing,
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
That's a pretty good reason.
Yeah, I
Slavery's
think it's
bad,
fair.
but insult me on the road.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh, road rage big with Ambrose.
Awesome. So as you make your way into town, the familiar sense of the town around you, comforting, very, very nice to be back. Where are you headed? Are you just dropping off the horses and cart and going to the inn? Is there anything more important or more pressing first?
Feel like we should go let Sildar know that we got Gundren back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Why
think
don't-
we should
Why
definitely
don't half
jump
of
on-
us? Here's an idea. Why don't half of us go let Sildar know about Gundren, and the other half take Glassstaff's head to the post office lady, because I don't think they're gonna let us carry this thing into the inn. That
Is
that is a human head.
What time of day is it? Is it night?
At this point, it is like the very, very verge of twilight. Within the next like 20, 30 minutes, it will be dark. Dark.
And is it still raining?
It is still raining. Not nearly as hard as it was on the road, but it's still like it's coming down. All of Phandalin is just this sort of sheets of muddy water spilling off the edges of the roofs, and then the occasional places where you can see torchlight is carving these sort of long lines of gold reflection in the puddles on the sort of gravel road in front of you.
I think Gundren might appreciate getting right to the inn, and we can call Sildar over. I'm
Yeah.
happy to go run and get him.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm fine with whatever you decide.
I think we need to find you a bed, man.
And
Oh,
a
I'm
beer.
fine.
I've never heard Gundren Rockseeker turn down an ale, and I will not today.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
I could drink
Yeah.
an ale or 5.
See?
He's gonna be all right.
You watches his entire sort of physicality goes from like slumped into this tiny ball to just like bright-eyed and perky at the idea of like a warm inn and ale. Okay. As you make your
Yeah.
way in, you go park the horses, hitch them up, find them shelter, unpack your things. As the rest of you are unpacking the cart, someone's taking Gundren inside.
I can take him in
Sure. Yeah.
unless Glass wants to.
I have I want to run by the general store real quick and then run and get Stildar.
Okay.
I don't need to
Awesome.
take up much time with that.
So as you begin to unload the cart and all sort of split off in various directions, preparing for the next leg of your journey and a little brief rest, we will also take a quick rest and take a really fast break. So we will be back here in about 15 minutes. It's 8:10. We'll be back at 8:25 p.m. here, Pacific time. In the meantime, go ahead and go to thehelpaction.com, donate to our charity of choice, Transgender Law Center. Really important, cool stuff. Leave us a note if you have a fun note to read tonight. Let me know who's going to read it. Tell us which character and what voice should be reading your fun notes.
We could roll a D4 and have Bree as 1, Glass as 2, Oleander as 3.
Okay,
and,
so if you don't leave us a direct direction in order to do this, I will force everyone to do it with Ambrose's brilliant dice technique. Thank you.
I'm going to do Glass in 40 years. 60.
Ambrose, Nero, sorry. Okay, cool. So we'll be back in here about 15 minutes here. Have a good break, and we'll see you shortly. Bye, everybody.
Stay tuned.
everybody. Welcome back. It is episode 21. We are just back from our break. Before we get back into our show, we do want to say that, hey, we're affiliates on Twitch now. That happened sometime in the last week or so, and that's super exciting. So if you're all interested in supporting our channel, stuff that we get from affiliate doesn't go towards the charities. It's just about supporting what we do here, and it's all of the money we would put towards doing giveaways for y'all, or I don't know, buying more source books or buying cool stuff for D&D and the game. None of it's going to our pockets. We don't want to take anything home. We just want to take everything you give us there and put it back out. So if you're interested in subscribing, we will come up with some cool goals and stuff like that at another time, but any support that you are willing to garner would be awesome. So go ahead and check that out, and whoever wants to be our first subscriber on this channel is more than welcome to do it, and we look forward to seeing who it will be.
Yay!
Without any other announcements from any of you before we jump back in. Donate to Trans Law Center.
I might
Yes, donate to Trans Law Center, please.
What was that?
Donate to Trans Law Center, please.
Do that. I might have, as a follow-up, a grossly commercial plea, which is that it was very recently Indie Bookstore Day, and I own an indie bookstore.
That's true.
If any of y'all want to go and like support my little store, that would be awesome. You know, throw some money to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
The store is called.
I just
The
got
store?
my D&D books in the mail for that. I bought this, and I bought some novels and like the R.A. Salvatore Drisk series from the thing, and they showed up really quick. And there's a big selection. So
Yeah, Tommy's. It's called Harvest Moon Books. So go check that out. It's harvestmoonbooks.com. And we just started selling T-shirts.
Oh,
too.
we should have
And
worn
they're
them.
I wore mine.
Mine's in
I
the
gotta get me a t-shirt. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Very
Hey,
cool.
this
Hey,
exciting
nice.
website.
So cool.
Yay.
Yeah, awesome. Always fun to plug one, a small bookstore, and two, one of our players' stuff. So check that out if you can. And then, as always, go to thehelpaction.com and donate to Transgender Law Center, because they need it, and it's worth it, and it's all good. So cool. All right, without any further ado, then the party has made their way from Cragmaw Castle now through torrential rain on their way back to Phandalin without any further harrying from flying creatures or other terrors on the road, and have just pulled into town itself on the cusp of darkness as twilight is sort of beckoning the dark, rainy evening that is about to be set down on Phandalin into a cold and wet night. As the party is parking the cart and beginning to shuffle off in different directions to take care of a bevy of different chores and things that they need to do to facilitate what I would assume from the party and what I've talked to them, I think outside of the game, a very early departure tomorrow. So as you are just now parking the cart, putting the horses away, and beginning to split up in your different directions, we're going to have to do things a little bit separate and one at a time here, since we're going to have a lot of concurrent storylines reconvening here in a little bit. Is there a time that you are all set to convene and meet back together again, so that we can have that sort of, if you get lost at Disneyland, meet in front of the... Yeah.
what's time?
We'll try and maybe all assemble back at the inn in like an hour. or so.
Oh, sounds good, yeah.
Okay. That being said, then, as you all split up and head in your different directions, who wants to go? Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Who wants to roll a d4? I will say that...
Whoever gets to it
I'm not
first.
going to volunteer again. The last two times I volunteered to roll with dice for the group, it ended badly.
You're not allowed to roll anymore.
We'll say Bree 1, Glass 2, Ambrose 3, and Oleander 4 here to see who's...
I'll roll.
Alrighty.
Oh my gosh. It's a 2!
It is I.
So that means Glass. Glass, what would you like to do as you are finishing packing up the cart and moving on to take care of your personal stuff you gotta do?
Okay. I will taking the bag of holding like over my head, like, you know, like running through the rain in the town, like I will go to the general store.
Okay. So making your way over to Barthen's Provisions, you arrive at the front just as Barthen is beginning to sort of make his way out in the rain with sort of a large cloak up on top of him, and you can see that sort of under the cloak he's sort of pulling the door shut and beginning to lock it.
Ooh! Ooh! Ooh!
He sort of turns around.
Sail!
Hey.
Hey! Barthen!
All right, we'll open back up. Hasn't been too busy today anyways. Come on inside.
Hey!
Sort of
That's what I like to
unlocks
hear.
and kicks the door back
You
open, and
won't regret
hang on
it.
just a second, makes his way over to the counter and just sort of lights up a small glass, one of the sort of glass flutes on a desktop torch. And it is just you and Barthen in this very dark and almost a little weird to be in a dark Barthen's Goods at the moment.
Wow. Love the night ambiance. Great. Okay.
Sorry about
Short
the sirens.
Okay. Short list here. Paints, inks, any kind of creative materials that you got. I would love to buy some of that. First off.
Well, yeah, we got. Hang on. He just sort of goes and shuffles around a few things, sets out a large stack of paper, and then several bottles of ink, and just sort of a box that, as he lifts the lid off, is just full of maybe 5 or 6 different quills. There is just a few sort of like almost a glass mason jar. He has one of red and one of blue paint. Not exactly a full gamut here, but there's a couple paints there.
Okay, I will take kind of one of everything.
Okay. So the paints will be 5 silver each, so gold for the 2 of those if you want them both. And then as far as ink and quills and stuff go, we'll just call it another 5 silver for a couple pots of ink and a quill.
Okay.
Cool.
I will do that, and then I will, take those, put them into my bag of holding, into the bag of holding, all of our bag of holding, my bag of holding, and then Barthen. So someone has returned today, and we did not know if we would ever see them again. And
Well, that
we're
sounds like
also-
good news.
What?
I said, that sounds like good news. If they
Yeah.
returned.
Yes, great news. And yet also, who knows what tomorrow brings? And so, what kind of nice food and drinks have you got for me to surprise people with at the tavern? And if you don't have any food and drink, maybe some sort of fun little festive things.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for nice spirits, I'd say, go ask Toblin. He's probably got something behind the bar that'll tickle your fancy. But as far as nice food goes, he just sort of rummages around underneath the desk and pulls out almost an identical glass mason jar to what the paint was in. But inside, even by the low light of the candle, you can see it is honey, and inside of it is a large hunk of honeycomb.
Cool.
I was fully expecting him to pull out like a novelty Toblerone.
You deserve the big Toblerone.
Now, this is honey, and I hear it's infused with lilac or lavender, I don't know, one of the L's. Lilies, I'm unsure, but it's supposed to be
Sure.
delicious. I haven't opened it because it's expensive, but it is like 5 gold for the jar.
5 gold well spent, my friend.
All right, well, treat it well. Sweeten your food, sweeten your life up a little bit. Sort of slides it across the counter to you.
Okay. One more thing. Have you by chance got any type of jewelry for sale? Anything cool?
I mean, I probably got like some silver rings and maybe like a little chain or something like that. But if you're looking to, kind of sounds like you're going on a date here and you want to impress somebody. Maybe not anything that fancy.
No, just more like I'll just take whatever. This, the silver ring.
Alrighty. Well,
This is like a frontier gold town store. I don't think they.
I don't think you're with me.
so
Magic happened with whatever the fuck we got, okay? No, what up?
who's the lucky cat?
Look, we are engaging on certain levels, and that's not one of them.
You're engaged? That's incredible. Congratulations on your engagement.
Wow.
You
Okay.
fully brought this upon yourself.
Tell me about the price on the silver ring, and I will prepare to leave.
Oh, I mean, with this kind of craftsmanship, just sort of slides it from like a small case behind the counter. I'd part with it for 10 silver pieces for the work and craftsmanship.
Okay. All right. Thank you muchly. I will pull the appropriate amount of money out, which I believe is six
Thank God
six
you're doing
gold,
the math because I'm not.
6 gold and 15 silver.
Cool.
I'll place it on the table and say, "Will you give me one fun little thing for free?"
Yeah, why not? I think you're cute. Hang on. He just sort of reaches down and like sets what looks like a small like leather case on the table, and then as he sort of opens up one end of it and unfolds it and unties it, inside are just it's a large stack that sort of spreads out a little bit of just white handkerchiefs. He sort of pulls 2 off the top and says, "For your lady."
Okay.
Congratulations, you two.
Aw, that's cute.
Hey, never go anywhere without a handkerchief. She's crying, she needs to sneeze, she's got something on her shoes. That's how
You
gentlemen does it.
are just so old-fashioned. Thank you. I will say. I will
Thanks,
place.
I think.
That's
I will
Come on,
place,
I gotta
place
close
the money on the table and cantrip minor illusion, a little bit of glittering, sparkles, and be on my way back out the door.
Like that just a pretty
Taking a handkerchief over my head and running to Sildar.
And you just hear under his breath as you walk away, just the sweetest thing. Alright. You make your way out, he follows shortly behind you and then locks the door, clearly very confused about your intentions here.
Okay.
And as we resume back to the point where everyone's splitting up from the cart, go ahead and roll another d4, re-rolling a 2, if you would, for me, please. Someone. Anyone.
I can roll.
Go for it.
That's a 1.
That's a 1. Bree. As you split off from the cart and you watch as Glass beelines in the direction of the general store, what would you like to do?
I am going to head to the post office with the head of Glass staff,
Okay.
perhaps in a burlap bag or something.
And
Yep.
don't let me use this sort of dice rolling thing to force you to separate. If anyone wants to go together at any time, you're welcome to.
because I wanted to go with her
Yeah.
on this.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So as the two of you make your way over to the Miners Exchange and Dove Post, you can hear sort of the sound of rain hitting the roof up above, and the doves seem to be stirring from where you can hear them from downstairs, and you hear footsteps sort of on the roof above you. It sounds like someone is probably putting them away for the rain at the moment. And as you approach the front door, under the eaves on the sort of large, like saloon Wild West style front porch with the large wooden pillars that sort of support the eaves that go over it, you're out of the rain and dry at the moment. Maybe not dry, you're soaked, but you're not getting wetter. The door is locked. But you did hear that someone was on the roof.
Can I look around and see if there's a ladder or something up to the roof?
Yeah, as you sort of peer around the side, it doesn't look like there's a ladder, but it does look climbable. And sort of just beyond the edge of the roof, there's maybe another 5-10 feet of like chicken wire that sort of surrounds the enclosure for these pigeons. As you pull around the side, you realize the building is not 3 stories tall, obviously, because it has one of those large sort of Western style false front facades. Yeah. But yeah, just maybe on what would be the 2nd story roof, you could see that you could climb up if you wanted to. Or you could just, yell for whoever's up there. Or do a B&E. I don't know. Up to you.
A part of me really wants to
Then do it.
have a dog scene up with the carrier pigeons, but Yeah. Hey, Oleander.
Yes.
Maybe I'll handle this one. I'll try and scale the wall.
Judging by my past history, that is probably a wise idea, yes.
Yeah.
I will provide moral support from here on the ground.
Strong
Yeah.
swimmer, not a climber.
Yes. Oh man. I mean, when you think about it, heights are just inverted pits. So I don't feel confident about that.
Truly. Yeah.
Fair enough.
You just want to, keep an eye out here.
Yes.
Be
And
awesome.
yes.
Cool. Okay. As you make your way over to the side and find what you had seen before as an easy route up is a drain pipe attached to the side of the building that looks like you'd sort of be able to hand over hand your way up. Just make a general, I'll say athletics or acrobatics check to climb up.
Definitely acrobatics for me. Okay, 20.
20, yeah, no problem. You scurry up this thing like a squirrel, and within no time you are on the top of the roof. And now, from where you stand, you're just on the side of where that sort of large, like 10-foot by 10-foot chicken wire enclosure is that holds these creatures. And inside of that is a smaller coop, and sort of hunched over the front of it, sort of pushing one last dove in before closing in the latch is a like dark hooded figure that as you sort of land on the roof just sort of stops and then turns, and all you can see is just the bare sliver of a face that you can see is what you recognize to be Halia.
Okay.
What are you doing on my roof?
Yeah, sorry. I know it's nicer to knock.
Are you trying to sneak up on me?
No,
You're doing a shitty
no. I just wanted to talk with you alone, honestly.
Interesting choice of timing.
Yeah. Yeah,
She
sorry.
sort of makes her way over to the edge of one of the sets of chicken wire where you can see there's sort of like a makeshift like wire hinged door that's in the side of it, and undoes some of the wire and unwraps it and allows you inside and says, come inside. And you can see there's a like a platform for the second level of the coop that provides just enough shelter from the rain. And as she just sort of takes like a flat-footed squat and rests her arms on her elbows for a second, she reaches inside of her cloak and begins to roll a cigarette. So what is this thing you wish to talk to me about? Is it have something to do with Glestaff?
Yeah, you could say that. I'm gonna pull out the bag with his head and just drop it at her feet.
She doesn't even flinch. Her eyebrows just lightly go up and she says, good. Glad that's taken care of.
You and me both. I have to ask, your vendetta, I guess, with Glassstaff, was it of a personal nature or a political one?
She sort of narrows her eyes and like raises like what's kind of a lumpy cigarette rolled with wet fingers up to her lips, and sort of pulls out like a match and lights it. And she sort of sits there and smokes and just narrows her eyes at you. I can assure you it's all business, but I'm a little surprised by how ill-informed you seem. And she sort of takes a long drag and blows it over her shoulder.
Well, I don't know if you knew, but my entire network disappeared not too long ago. So I haven't exactly been getting the intel I used to get.
She's sort of sitting on the flats of her feet at the moment. She just sort of leans back a few inches, and you hear just a subtle like poof as her back sort of hits the side of the coop. And then she hunkers down to where she's now sitting fully. And she sort of like puts her head in one hand and... I suppose I am glad you came to see me in private. It is precisely for that I owe you an apology.
Uh-oh.
I did what I could to not allow my business associates to interfere in Magdala's operations, out of respect for her, of course, as an ex-co-worker. But then, and she sort of gestures with a cigarette and flicks some of the ash onto Glassstaff's head, this little bastard got in the way and started making you and yours do some really messy things. And I could not keep my eyes closed anymore, willfully or not.
You know, I was kind of in the same situation on the other side. I saw Mag getting mixed up with this guy and the Red Brands, and I tried to trust her that she had some bigger plan in mind, but I don't think she did. I think she got used. Sounds like she got used.
Tell me, how much do you know about the Zentarim?
Zentarim?
The Zentarim.
Do I know anything about the Zents?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Okay. Ooh, that's a flat 8.
The only thing that you know when this is mentioned is that they are frequently spoken of under the more common name of the Black Network. And they are effectively a hidden and supposedly mostly secret criminal organization.
Okay.
Not necessarily evil, but definitely operating outside of the law. And definitely not necessarily good either. And so as you sort of relay that you know that much to her, she says, you know, Magdala used to work with me in these ends. We go way back. And then, I don't know, she got tired of knives in her back all the time, I suppose, and got involved with the Enclave, and then decided to part ways. So as I was running my operation, doing what I could for these ends to pick a little money here and there from operating costs of the High Forest during their operations that you and yours were stymieing in the High Forest, I was making a good bit of coin. But no, you and yours kept making attacks and hurting the bottom line of the Lord's Alliance was hurting the bottom line of what we could scoop from their coffers. And for a long time you operated like it was acts of nature. An explosion here, a trap there, a loose animal in camp here. And then you brought... And she sort of spits on Glassstaff's head. You brought this one into the picture, didn't you? Maybe not you, but she did. And then he started doing the thing with the coins, the hot coins on the foreheads of the guards, the brands, leaving that little emblem of the Lord's Alliance right there on their forehead that they worship so much. Calling cards, dead bodies everywhere, with sword marks, with arrows. You can't explain that away as natural phenomenon. I can't. I had to do something. So, you had that last job. I maybe told some people about it. You were supposed to get scared off, get caught, but I don't know. Were you there? And you would know that this, she's sort of referring to the night that everything went haywire on that last job that you did with Mag and everybody. And she goes on to explain that while Magdala had basically seen that everything was fucked from the get-go and had said, no, we have to turn ourselves in, we have to parlay, it was Glassstaff and his men and their orders to continue to fight and to try to fight their way out that caused the ensuing violence and many of the criminal charges that are now pressed against Mag and the others from your group, who she over and over refers to as the Enclave, which is not a name that you're used to hearing.
Referring to Mag and my people, or yeah.
So,
You know, I really liked it when it was just pranks. When it was just hijinks in the forest, pretending to be ghosts, pretending to be wild animals, just making it harder for them. But, yeah. Good things never last, right?
no. And it's difficult for someone like Magdala to keep the wool pulled over the eyes of those who follow her for so long. If this is what you believed you were doing was pranks, then she's clearly a wonderful and talented leader and speaker and motivator, but trust me, there was probably much more to the tale. Not to speak ill of the imprisoned, but
The Enclave. I never used that word. Is that what Mag called it?
she might not have spoken then of it. The Emerald Enclave. Groups of druids, rangers from the southern shores of the Sea of Fallen Stars.
No idea.
They are... I don't know. I suppose kind of like us, kind of like the Harpers, kind of like many of the others who try to preserve balance in a way. Nothing too strong, nothing too weak. I digress. It's also cold as fuck out here. Anyways, the only thing I wanted to tell you from here was... After I sold your group out, which I am sorry for, I was doing my job as best I could. Glassstaff, he escaped to down here. After that, I requested a change of post. I thought Phandalin might be quiet. I wanted to keep an eye. And then here comes someone tangled up in this from the beginning. I think your tall friend has probably been waiting a while. I heard you both approach. And
Yeah.
through the heavy rain, you're like, how would she even know that Oleander was here?
Rogue shit? Something? Yeah. This is this is a lot, and I don't know, sometimes you feel like maybe you're the badass criminal, and then it's really, I don't know, kind of embarrassing to find out how much is going on over your head.
Always a bigger fish, always another layer. Always another curtain behind the curtain behind the curtain. Anyways.
Can I trust Mag?
What's that?
Can I trust Mag? I mean, I've trusted her like all my life.
I don't think she ever had any intention to harm you. I don't think she's a bad person. Like I said, I did what I did out of respect. I just had my hand forced. But as far as trusting her, she may not be honest with you, but she probably cares about you. I don't think she'd hurt you. But people like me don't live as long as we do, trusting people.
Well,
What, are you thinking about going to seek her out or something? All the way in the gate?
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go get her out and everybody else. I have to.
I'm sure the two of you will have a lifetime together in the sea tower. Don't get caught.
Oh, that's one more way of living a long life. And I'll see myself down.
She sort of stubs out the cigarette. She flips open the hatch and says, "Come on, you can come through this way," and leads herself down the ladder to the darkened interior of the dove post. And Oleander then sort of standing now, long, chilly on the edge of the thing. The door swings open next to you, and Bree and Halia sort of step out onto the porch.
Hey. So, yeah, you two all caught up and stuff? Everything look good?
I would say
There was
so.
something about a reward, I believe.
Yeah.
He sort of
Yeah,
reaches
yeah.
into one of the long sleeves of her jacket and says, "Of course, for a job well done." And directly to you, Oleander hands you a small pouch of coins.
Jeez.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Pleasure doing business. What?
I prefer to do business with some and keep that in coin, and business of words with others. Take no offense, small one.
I understand.
Layered statement.
Yeah. Don't be offended, stupid. She then sort of stands there in the doorway with it open and says, "Is there anything else I could help you with this evening?"
Did you ever hear back from did you ever hear anything back from that one oh gosh, this is a shot in the dark.
Oh yeah.
Did you have any messages waiting for Ambrose by any chance? Maybe from a Miss Black, possibly? At all?
Not to my memory, but I will check my records. Is there a time this would have arrived? Before you came to Phandalin or after?
No, sometime in the last 7 days.
Oh, no, not in the recent memory, no.
Oh, okay, cool. Just checking, just because I know he sent something out a while back, and I wanted to see if she replied.
Fair. I have not seen anything. I will let you know if I see.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
All
TTYL.
is well. And the door just sort of creaks shut and just silently closes. And you, you don't even hear steps sort of recede back into the building. Yes.
I want to, as I'm leaving, just shout back at her. Halia, if a three-eyed owl ever comes through your little post office here, that's from me.
I'll keep an eye out. You hear sort of muffled from the interior.
So you were up there a while. What's up?
Oh, just getting high, talking shit.
Damn. I didn't know you were so tight with postal workers.
It's kind of like a class solidarity thing. I don't know.
I can dig it. I suppose you little people have to stick together. Oh my god, I'm sorry. That wasn't a crack on your height. Wow. Holy shit. I'm so sorry.
Bree has been so cut down this evening. She just sighs and accepts it and trudges back to the end.
How can you be cut down when you're already so low?
My God.
Jesus Christ.
She's already
Kick a Molly
dead.
down. Incredible.
Let's chop down this tree stump, everybody.
Jesus Christ. Okay, before any of that ever happened, let's go back to the cart. As the group is splitting back up, you can either choose at this point, or we can roll one more d20 and high and low it for.
Well,
No, I guess it's just Oleander or Ambrose left. Yeah, you were
Bree.
with Bree. Sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am confused.
I have one more thing to do, but I'll do it after
Okay.
Ambrose.
So Ambrose, as your friends take off in different directions from the cart, what is it that you would like to do?
I would like to find Sister Garrely.
Okay.
And for the sake of, it's raining and it's cold, and it's probably a better idea to find her and bring her back to the inn, where we can ply her with snacks and bread and drink, and get her to do, magic.
Sure. Were you with the group today that everybody walked over and just sort of checked out the little shrine that she has there in the middle of the cul-de-sac there in Phandalin, or were you elsewhere?
I was there, but on the edge of it. I didn't actually interact with her, I don't think.
Okay, then
Yeah,
you would have seen the building that she sort of walked away to and into, that you would probably either assume is either a place that she frequents or her home. You're unsure which.
Yeah.
As you look out just across the thing, even through the rain, it's very easy to see that the shrine itself is wet and empty.
Shoot. Is there anything nearby? Any shacks?
I mean, there's the building no more than 20, 30 feet away that you watched her go into and out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanna head in there and see what I can see.
Yeah, you make your way over to what looks just like a small residential building. Door is shut, small porch in the front, a little bit of eaves enough to get you out of the rain for a moment. As you approach the door to enter, knock.
I'll knock. I'll be polite.
As you, sort of,
Enter like a psychopath.
as you kick the door down with your hooves and threaten to kill her. No. You knock on the door for a moment, and as you approach, you can see that through the windows there was a faint bit of what looked like candlelight or lamplight or something. And no more than a few moments after you knock, the door sort of swings open, and you just see sort of tall and luminous standing before you holding a single candle, Sister Garrely sort of looking down. Oh, hey. How's it going, Ambrose? Come on inside.
going
It's so
good.
rainy outside. Come inside.
It's really wet. Yeah, thanks.
Can I get you something? Do you want some hot tea?
I won't be here long. Don't worry about it. I won't trouble you.
Oh, okay. Sure. Can I help with something?
I have been informed that maybe you may or may not, or no, I should just say you kind of owe us a favor.
I do. You're absolutely right. Yeah, what can I do for you?
We have some previously alive people who, if you could communicate with them, it would be extremely beneficial to everyone, including the entire town.
Oh, yeah, I can ask Tamora to talk to them. You say them like there's a lot of them?
There's just two.
Okay. That's only something I can do once a day.
Okay.
But I'm happy to do it as many times every day as you want.
Okay. Is it the kind
I
of
guess
thing
once a
where
day,
if
but as
you-
many days in a row as you want is what I meant to say.
Yeah. Is it the kind of thing where if you do it at 11:30 and then you wait a half hour, you can do it again?
No, it's one of those things where I don't know. I kind of have to say my nightly prayers and get some rest between. It's pretty exhausting.
Yeah. Spells are hard. I know. I do spells.
I can tell. You seem like you're pretty good at them. Probably better than I am.
No, I'm sure you're fine. Don't worry about it. You can speak to the dead. That's pretty cool. Well,
Tamora can speak to the dead. I just, speak to her.
I mean, we're kind of gathering at the inn, and if you wanna come along with me, or just kind of like come in the next like half hour if you've got like stuff to do.
No, I mean, you look around and the place is like spotlessly clean. There's like not even like a smell of food in the air. It looks barely lived in. It's a little strange. There's like a live, laugh, love above. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't look like she was preparing dinner or working on anything at the moment. This seems like a very sort of small, lonely, but very like monastic and orderly, like place of living. I'm not really much of a bar person, but I'll come sit and have dinner with you or something if you want.
Yeah.
Sure. Thanks for inviting me. That sounds fun. Okay. Do you want to go now, or do you want to?
If you're
I can show
free,
you
that
my-
would be.
Sure. Okay. Let's go. And you can tell she's just like very not used to like being social.
You need like a coat or anything, or are you just gonna run out?
And she sort of steps forward onto the porch and holds her hands just beyond the eaves and says, "Yeah, hang on," and just sort of grabs a
like
big
a hat.
cloak from behind the off of a hook by the door and throws the hood up and just sort of holds it over. And she's like, "Okay, let's go. Race you there," and just sort of takes off at a beeline. Her long legs like by you.
Finally, I can use my mirthful leaps.
Yes!
Amazing.
Like hopscotch it, like a little goat.
Yeah, just puddle to puddle or dry land to dry land,
I
whichever way
believe
you
the
want
word
to do
you're
it.
looking for is bandying.
Is that what is okay?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Bandy-legged refers to goat legs, where they're kind of like bandying
That's
around.
precious. And you do watch as Sister Garrily, as she's running, rather than sort of avoiding all of the puddles, seems to be aiming right for them and just sort of like psh, 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 splashing through each of them.
It's so precious.
This girl is so wholesome.
I'll protect you with my
It's
life.
obnoxious. She reaches the edge of the where the entrance to the inn is. If you would like to race her, we can make a check out of it, or she could just arrive there. It's up to you. I don't
No,
know how
I would-
competitive Ambrose is.
It's normally I think I would be pretty competitive, but I would feel bad if I won. I think so.
Okay. Fair enough. So as you sort of approach a few moments behind her, she says, "Gotcha. All right, let's go.
You got me. Let's go inside.
And you step inside to the soothing, warm ambiance of the inside of the Stonehill Inn, coupled with the slightly somber at the moment, but still sort of rejuvenating music of that old, out-of-tune piano in the far corner. And as the rest of you sort of gather up there, aside from Glass, who had one more thing that he wanted to do, what is it? What do you want to do?
I just wanted to also make sure I went over to get Sildar. Yeah. So just kind of like, I know I didn't find sunglasses at the store, but pretending I'm wearing them with my bag full of shit and stuff. Open up the door. Who do I see?
You see Droop as he jumps and then falls immediately flat on the ground, passed out, playing cards scattered across the floor, and with him is an entire jug of some sort of ale or something that also splashes on the ground, soaking all of the cards. Sitting across from him in his usual chair at the proper side of the table is Sildar, who also sort of jumps and then looks at you and then looks sort of over the desk at Droop on the ground and says,
Lord Droop.
"Well, that's the longest I've had him awake for a while, but welcome back. How'd it go?"
So much to do, so much to say. It's
So what's wrong with
Art
working
manager?
the back way? Sildar would listen to Smash Mouth. It is canonical.
yeah, he's like, well, yeah, I'm a pretty big fan.
Not as good as Nickelback, but they're pretty good.
All right, that's it for tonight.
Is
Okay.
Fartman here?
Oh, Western, no. He's probably home sleeping. He goes home pretty early. I just wanted a little peace and quiet from the bar. And this
No.
one's not actually bad company.
Not surprised about Fart Man. Also, glad to hear you're getting along. Also, do you want to carry him or do you want me to? Because we're going to the bar.
He sort of stands up and for the first time doesn't seem to put a ton of weight on his hands. It seems like whatever injury had been ailing his leg is bending slowly but surely. And he sort of
Yeah.
has a little bit of a limp to him and just walks over and just reaches down onto the ground and just takes one big sort of white hairy hand and grabs the back of Droop's. I think he bought him overalls. He grabs the back of Droop's overalls and just sort of picks him up like
Little Cub Scout outfit.
like one of those like service dogs in a little vest with a handle in the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, my service goblin. I'm allowed to take him in here, you know?
Well, shall we?
Yes, let's.
By the way, the rest of your group here, safe.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Sildar, let's get to that tavern.
Sort of grabs a cloak off the hook and boop, and we're there. Cool. Now everybody's at the tavern, reconvening finally after all of your errands have been
We did
run,
it.
making your way to your usual table as you are wont to do, and approached by the various tavern folk who work there, bringing you whatever you should desire as far as your orders and drinks go. We can roleplay that out, or we can jump to whatever you'd like to discuss.
I would like to go up to Toblin and kind of, you know,
Oh, hey, Glass. Good to see you again.
good to see you too. Great to be here. Look, can we celebrate? You know, like not like how you know, like if there were a thing. I guess I'm in a bard college. Not how like they party at a bard college, you know, but just like something nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, oh, you're looking to buy something nice. Or
Just
drink something
nice
nice.
drinks.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, celebrations are always welcome here. But beyond that, let me go dig around for what I got in the cellar, and I'll let you know. Elman, come on, stop. Play something happy. Come on, we're celebrating tonight. You can hear there's just like a very sad kind of plinking tune. Like Elman sitting there with like one hand, and as he turns around and looks and sees you at the
Hi,
bar,
Elman.
he just very quickly like breaks into like a more jaunty
Aw.
saloon style tune. Hang on, I got it.
Now I'm
A
just
season two.
imagining a piano cover of Smash Mouth.
Oh no, I hate that.
Honky Tonk Smash Mouth.
I would love it if I could. There we go.
Honky Tonk Smash Mouth.
He really does not make that piano sound like strings.
Okay.
He's very skilled.
As he
Skill.
begins to play a fresh tune, and Tabla just sort of like gives you one of these and heads into the back room, and the rest of you convene at your usual table. What is it that you would like to discuss as a group? As Gundren is with you, Sildar is as well, and Sister Garrely comes in just behind everyone else with Ambrose, with a large party here all gathered. There's barely enough room around this sort of long wooden table. Pull up a couple extra chairs, but familiar faces around. What do you want to talk about?
I imagine the Sildar and Gundren reunion is good.
As Gundren sort of makes his way to the table with the main group of you and sits down, just sort of looks around and sort of takes stock of the area. He's still a little like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed by the prospect of ale. And then as Glass, you enter with Sildar behind him. He doesn't notice your entrance at first, and Sildar just sort of makes his way up quietly behind him and just puts a big hand on his shoulder. And Gundren just sort of looks up, leaps up from his seat as best he can with his exhaustion, just without a word, gives him a big hug.
Oh.
And just sort of like rests his face on Sildar's belly, who just sort of like does the weird awkward thing of a cat who doesn't know how to show affection. I didn't think you'd made it until these folk. I'm sorry. I'm really. And just begins to openly weep at the table. And Sildar just sort of, it's all right. It's okay. It's just awkwardly doing his best that he can to comfort someone that at this point you kind of get the gist that he's not in touch with his emotions. Gundren really is, and he also is just like, I didn't know you that good, I guess, but okay, I was a bodyguard. Good to see you. Okay. As that is happening in the background, what would you like to discuss?
I don't have important things to discuss. I just have fun things that I want to do.
I think that Bree is like got an ale and is just kind of sitting by herself in a corner, kind of swinging her little legs off the chair and just looking kind of shell-shocked.
Okay, so 1,000-yard staring, just legs absently swinging. Almost like one of those drinking birds, like very steady sips of ale. The rest
Glass,
of you
I think-
seated at the table together. Sorry, go ahead.
Glass, I think I really pissed Bree off earlier with an accidental short joke.
Oh, I mean, she knows she's short. That's
It
just.
just worked out. I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that she's of a lower social class than me.
Oh my god.
All right, bye.
Well, you know what? I think you might have. I think that misinterpretation went in your favor.
You think?
You know, I can't speak for her. You know, she does kind of seem like someone who'd be like, being poor is cool. So who knows?
I mean, I can't help it. I mean, you're just, the background and all. Should I like apologize? A drink? Do you think it's gonna be like? Should I just give her some space? I don't know. You're the expert in these sorts of touchy.
I'm gonna look over and I suppose see Bree giving 1,000-yard stare. I think let's just give it some time, and she'll probably come back when she wants. And I think she's probably not going to be that mad. But
Okay,
I'll
if you
be
think so.
like
I give Bree a little wave, like.
Do you even notice, Bree? Or are you
I'm just
2,000
like
yards staring?
on the wall behind Olean.
You're just counting the knots in the wood.
All right.
imagine
Cool.
if Scott Pilgrim when they look over to who is it? Knives when you just get like. But I want to grab Oleander and Ambrose kind of like huddle style. Okay. I got this. I'm going to pull out the ring. And it looks stupid. But could we make it look cooler? Ambrose?
Ooh, I think I actually
It feels like you're about to propose the Gundren.
does
Hey, the man has 1,000 rings. He almost died. He's our friend, okay?
As you
Does
look
it-
over at Gundren, you can see that he's sitting there like, like showing off his like nub to Sildar, who's like,
Ambrose, please
does it?
help me.
I mean,
help.
I assume, does it need to be permanently cool?
I just think I think any other way it could look probably would look cooler than this.
One sec. One sec.
Oleander, if you have any ideas for him.
I do have one of my features is minor alchemy, where I can alter the physical properties of a non-magical object from one substance into another. It takes about 10 minutes, and I can change it into whatever. So
Cool.
it lasts as long as concentration does.
and
Oh,
remember
shit.
that
Oh.
your book lets you do that permanently,
Oh!
Oh yeah.
like
Okay.
you did with the door into stone.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't have anything as useful as that.
I'm just thinking like ideas for how we should design it.
Thank you for including me in the decision-making process. But
We could make it like a
thaumaturgy is like sounds, and I can make a flame grow brighter or dimmer, and I can change the color of my eyes, and that's like it. It's a weird spell.
What kind of?
I mean, I guess if you want it to be a very loud ring, I don't.
Just brainstorming the ring.
I could give it like a little face, and you could make it scream.
Whatever.
That would be something. I think we should put a pin in that idea.
That might be for me and not for Gundren, though.
Yeah.
Or later, for
Just-
something. I don't know what that for.
I think Gundren's easy to please. I think a ring.
I can make it kind of like gold colored and like really like ornate, like really like fancy
I think that. Something.
flibs and nibs and such.
Sounds cool to me. I just thought we could make this ring look a little cooler. That's all this is.
I'll cast my make ring look cooler spell.
Okay. You're welcome to describe it, or we can just say it looks way cooler now.
It looks so sick.
Okay, it has like Hot Wheels flames on the side.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's
Like
pretty cool.
if you accidentally like hit somebody with it, it would probably draw blood. Like it's all like pointy and fancy.
Yeah.
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 There's like a little engraving of Ambrose like playing an electric guitar on it.
Oh, sick!
Exactly. There we go. Here's our cool ring.
It says
Hell yeah.
it says nerd nug across it, so when you punch somebody, it leaves Gundren in their face.
That's a better idea than anything I could have come up with.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, the ring looks fantastic, and it is now permanently enchanted that way. Go ahead and mark off one of your uses of that. And don't forget, every day when you rest, you have to roll your D3, which is that weird, confusing D6 halved thing that we talked about that one time, but that's okay. We'll say you have all your charges back. Cool. You have a gift for your friend all lined up. What else would you like to do? And if y'all are done for the day and you just want to like rest and get ready for the next day's adventure, that's fine too. It's up to you.
Oh, I thought Glass had more to
We
do.
were gonna do the
Oh,
head
I-
thing. I thought we were gonna do the head thing.
Yeah. I think that's. We'll give Gundren that. I don't want to hog all the
Sure.
RPing time.
I want to know how Gundren feels about it.
All right, let's give him the ring.
Yeah.
Well, let's wait for Bree. It seems like she was about to rejoin. You know.
Oh,
Or maybe not.
I just wanted to walk back up to the bar and ask Toblin, like I'm usually like, just kind of stick with beer, whatever.
As
If
you sort of
anything-
like make your way up to the bar, you see he's just now sort of emerging from that door that he had gone through. He says, "I'm so sorry, give me just 1 second," and like rushes his way over to the table with what looks like 2 bottles underneath like white napkin cloths, like one in each hand, and just sort of shuffles over. He's like, "Hey, sorry, y'all, didn't mean to take so long there. I've got 2 options here. One's nice, and the other one's like real nice. I'm not really sure which way you want to do it here, but," he sort of pulls the towel with his 3 fingers off of one and sets it on the table. And it's this like old dusty bottle of some sort of like deep red wine that looks like it's been in the cellar for God knows how long. He sort of blows some of the dust off it, brushes it off, and then takes the other and sort of sets it on and pulls the towel away. And it's like all gold leafed on the label that has like the wires that sort of cross around the top that says, "And then this one's bubbly. I don't know how big you want to celebrate tonight."
Oh, I didn't know you had this here.
I do.
I didn't know I had it here either, trust me.
So
Huh.
did we see? Can I see Bree?
Yeah, you watch Bree kind of do like, "Hey, a bit."
Yeah. I will just do this.
with Bree.
I would like to select the bubbly one, of course.
All right. Well, I was gonna say that one of them's 10 gold, the other one's 50.
50?
It's fine.
It's
You can tell that he's
50.
saying the word 50, 50, but very, very under his breath to the point where he's embarrassed, like even speaking that much.
Oh.
Gang, drinks are on me. I will absolutely fish out 50 gold from my purse
Okay,
and hand it over.
awesome.
as
Well,
you do, he says, "All right then, drinks for the lady."
And does his best to open it, is like lays one of the napkins over his arm and puts on his best waiter face. He's a little clumsy about it, but as he sets a few like champagne flutes down, pours just a tiny mountain one, passes it to you, Oleander.
Let me know if this will be okay for you, miss.
Exquisite.
I thought she was gonna spit it.
Compliments. Sommelier.
So glad it'll be good.
Pours the rest into small glasses, each of them foaming up high and then very slowly coming back down. How many glasses? Well, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. Everybody gets a glass. It's great. It's all set.
Yeah.
And then he sets the bottle back down and enough extra glasses.
Oh, there was only 4 glasses. No.
Sorry, I don't have that many flutes. I don't normally serve champagne.
All right, so guys, I was thinking, like, you know, like just like as a friendship thing.
Oh my god. I'm so excited to hear whatever this is.
Maybe we like put Gertrude's ring in the champagne.
And then what?
A French. Okay.
You know, friendship champagne flute ring surprise.
But no, you're ruining a perfectly good glass of champagne.
I'm like baffled and amazed. I'm like, is this how you're supposed to do it in the city? Because I never saw this.
No.
We never did it like this in the city.
Okay.
I mean,
No.
maybe if it was like, you know,
No, I don't want to do that.
You
I
don't
mean,
want
I'm
to romantically
down.
propose to your friend
we
as
had
a
these
joke?
we had these rings that we put around the glasses so we could tell whose was whose at parties, but I don't know what you're talking about here.
No, let's just hand out the champagne flutes.
Okay.
I didn't know you'd put a ring in mine.
You pass them out as you all sort of
Yeah.
awkwardly hold them, waiting for someone to make a toast. Will someone say something?
Right.
Oh, that's for you.
This is actually my area of expertise.
You do that.
I've given so many toasts in my time, you could call me Melba. That's a joke that I'm not sure everyone will get. We've come a long way. We've spent only a short time in this town, but it already feels somewhat more like home. And I think it's the warm countenances of the friendly faces we've met here that have really made it. So to old friends and new, and to the road ahead. Chin chin, everybody.
Chin
I'm
chin 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 chin. You just hear various voices sort of struggle with the unfamiliar toast. You watch as Sister Garrily just sort of.
Oh.
It tickles. It kind of tickles the nose a little. What is this?
Well, it's like it's champagne. It's a sparkling wine beverage from a certain specific region that I'm not sure how it would map to fantasy world, but it's from a very specific region, and that's what makes it good.
I love it.
It's fun. It's for very fancy occasions when you're celebrating with friends and stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Sometimes at home we would have like fountains of them, like with ice sculpture. There was this whole time with me and Ambrose once. It was this big whole thing. I'll tell you later.
Blood. So much blood.
That was how we met, actually. But that's a story for another time, maybe, or maybe a little bit later
No, you
tonight.
can't
Look
get
out.
away with saying something like that and not telling this story.
Yeah.
Woo!
Just
Well-
gonna like lay my head down.
Okay, well, where do I start? Oh gosh, it was the yearly gala with the local council was putting on their little knees up shindig to celebrate magic users in BG City, and of course, Ambrose and his patron were there. Pointy hat guy. Oh God, what was his name?
You don't need to worry about his name. Don't worry about it. Yeah,
Gumbert or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ambrose was with his guy, his
guy.
wizard guy, and we ruse, we as warlocks like to maintain a decent relationship with all the other significant magical figures in the city, so that we're not constantly at each other's throats all the time, because that doesn't get anything done.
They give us a lot of money.
Exactly. We fund their research, and they look into all sorts of delightful things. So we're here at this party, and it's a typical, a function. It's nothing really that scintillating, but I'm there trying to be, putting my best foot forward here. My brother is there too, Quaker, and he's just being absolutely beastly. He keeps making snide remarks and hitting on all of the other patrons and being just generally a real boor, and that's with 2 O's, so it's a fancy type of asshole.
I got to see this happen all the way across the table.
Yeah. So I'm minding my own business, and he thinks it is so slick of him to try to slip some colorless powder into my delicious flout of champagne that I have procured from our sparkling ice fountain, which just happened to be a sculpture of your patron, Gumbert, or whatever the hell his name was, standing aside my father and his current wife and their whole, and it was this big sign of friendship between the schools of enchantment. And it's him trying to poison me again. Yeah. At a public function. So I grab his hand as he do it. We get in a big of an argument, and he of course has to blow it up into this huge thing. Pretty soon he's shoving me, I shove him. We start going at it, and I don't know. It was an honest mistake, but I accidentally pushed him into the ice sculpture, and he apparently had just a bunch of poisons on him at once, and
it was a lot of poisons.
It was a lot of poisons,
I wasn't allowed to drink then. My patron said no because I was new, so I got to see all of this stone cold sober, and I down the rest of this flute as we're going to this mind palace of recalling this horrible story.
So he bumps into the fountain. Fountain knocks over the ice sculpture on top, shatters everywhere. Just all of the gunk in his clothes and the dye on his robe starts running. It dyes the fountain this intense, deep pigeon's blood red. Just that, plus the stumps of my dad and his wife and Gumbert, whatever his.
It's Hightower. It's Hightower.
Gumbert Tall Building. And then the entire crowd goes silent, and everybody's looking at me. And my father's there, and he's like, "Oh, once again, it is Oleander who has ruined everything for our entire family, and I'm the one who gets pinned for it. And I wasn't even the one who even started it. But he always seems to find a way to blame me, just because I'm the oldest one, because I'm the one that the whole family's name rests on. He blames me, of course. Anyways, I met Ambrose that night too. And that's the story.
Yeah, I mean, we only met because I tried to leave. And I slipped on a big piece of ice, and it hit you in the face.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that really counts.
Well, sometimes friendship starts with a piece of ice to the face. And considering your use of ice knife since then, it's only continued along that exciting trajectory.
A long history of Errant being hit with ice.
You're right.
Here.
Anyways, that's the fun story of how we met.
And Gundren and Sildar just like sort of cracking up over this. At this point, Gundren's face is like beet red. You can tell that after like a flute or two of champagne, he's just like deep in his cups. He hasn't drank in forever. He's exhausted. He probably has like zero anything in his body to eat aside from rations. He's looking a little sleepy and a little loopy at the moment.
Gundren, before you go off to the great Gundren Zone,
Right, we're in. That's gonna be in your room, someone else's room, then.
we've got you covered there.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a mental state,
You always
but
got me covered glass. Love you for it.
oh boy. Okay, let's just sober up enough for us to give you a gift.
All right, I'm so.
Oh my god.
Gundren, what does a man who has so many rings need? Another ring. Good to see you back,
One more
buddy.
finger to put them on.
Hey!
And he sort of coughs up what looks like a chunk of blood or something. He's like,
I'm fine.
Oh.
It's just from the.
I wish I had given you this when you were still all sentimental and could remember stuff, but here you go.
Poor glass.
he sort of just like leans his head on you, and you just hear sort of under his breath like,
You're just a really, really good friend. I appreciate you a lot, and I just want you guys to know that I love you all so much. And
just begins to sort of ramble through that
There, buddy.
cycle.
We love you too. I want to also just to make sure snubbing him. I want to go over to Elmond, but I can talk to him after anyone else wants to do other stuff.
So, Sister Gary, I hear you can help us with a certain interview process.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Tamora would be happy to chat with anyone near or dear to you who's departed, as long as, you have their body.
We have... How much of their body do you hypothetically?
I mean, that's a little bit of a grisly dinner table question, but I don't know, I guess enough to talk? Which is
Okay.
probably
Yeah,
just-
we can do that. We can do
yeah.
that. Good.
Ugh.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll this of course we can pay if it's too gross or whatever.
No,
It's-
I'm fine. Trust me, I deal with the interred all the time. I have no issues there.
Okay. Have you ever?
Deal with
And here's a question. Here's another question too. This has nothing to do with. Well, you'll see. Have you ever seen like a doppelganger hanging around this town before? Have you heard any stories about that?
I mean, from what I know of them, isn't it just kind of that you don't know they're there most of the time? That's kind of how they... I don't know. I don't know if I've ever... Do they always look like other people?
Apparently not.
Oh.
They have like a default state that's really weird. We got to find this out actually. But yeah, I was just
You all
'cause I
do
was
so much
noticing-
crazy stuff.
yeah, it's been so strange. I've just been noticing the other night I was out and I saw somebody on the roof and I ended up running into somebody who looked like them. And I was like, well, this town has been having doppelganger problems on top of everything else. I mean, maybe that's an indicator. Maybe I should check in with
Yeah, that's...
someone who is keyed into the local scuttlebutt, as it were.
Oh, I'm not much of a chatty Cathy. I just kind of... Anyways, you wanted me to talk to Tamora about talking to some people for you?
Yeah.
Not at the dinner table.
Not at the dinner table.
I
and
would say not. I feel like that would be a
No.
little rude.
We could do it. Do we want to do it tonight, gang, or do we want to wait till tomorrow?
We could do it tonight.
Wait.
May as well.
We should do-
One tonight. Yeah.
If we honestly, we could probably get away with only having to do one because I don't know if the bugbear is going to give us a heck of a lot of info.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cool. So, you want to see what a doppelganger looks like without being somebody else? It's really weird.
Oh. Oh. In here? You're gonna bring the body all the way up the stairs?
Oh, we don't have the whole body.
Oh.
Just the top part.
No.
The speaking part.
This is all coming together. Okay.
I realize this is a very weird job.
Rules.
You know, Tamora wouldn't have put me here with you doing this if it wasn't for a good reason, so. She sort of shakes it out for a second. All right, let's do it. A favor's a favor.
Alright, cool. Let's not do it here at the table though, because we will frighten off
Oh, yeah.
all of the patrons with our creepy head.
You can tell she sort of like looks around and like the illusion of like the little bubble that she had just gotten into, super interested in the conversation, has suddenly vanished, and she's like, "Oh, I'm aware of my surroundings now." Okay. Yeah. Do y'all want to go back to my house, or do you have a room here, or?
We have lodgings
Yeah.
Okay,
here.
let's do it.
Alright.
I'm ready.
Finish
Alright.
up eating and leave.
Bree definitely, like, during Oleander's story, did the, like, Leo DiCaprio, just, like, crushed her glass in her hand. And
Yo, are you gonna be? Bree, I'm sorry for the short joke earlier. Are you still mad about that? I didn't mean it like that. And also, I'm maybe realizing that talking about social status was probably also a bad idea too. The whole conversation could have been better thought out.
you know, it's good for you to come to these conclusions on your own. You learn more that way.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're I'm just gonna like take glass out of my hand and walk up the stairs.
Do you need like a
I'm
bandage?
fine.
As you like
Okay.
go, you just feel like a sort of a big hand like land on your shoulder, Bree. For a second, you turn around, and you see Sildar is sort of there, and he opens up one side of his sort of cloak and just pulls out Droop and just passes him to you. He's still just like
Hey,
completely passed out.
our little baby. Oh,
Or I can run him back to
Pito.
the jail cell.
No, we'd love to.
Oh,
He has been
Is I
talking about being in a fancy hotel again with his friends for a long time.
Oh. Wait, Drew? Oh, yeah.
for
Oh.
one night.
You know, I guess maybe I should have a little bit better perspective on what my position looks like to Drew. Thank you, Silver.
I guess I was thinking I was kind of moving towards Elmer and Jasper. But I think it would come back to see the Drew because I'm kind of like, ooh, I caused this.
You're like, you get halfway across the bar, and you're like, I gotta go talk to this guy, and you look over, and you're like, I also have to deal with that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh,
Guys, remember parties?
Yeah, this is literally just
Oh,
like a
yeah.
house party where you're like, ooh, I'm surrounded by people that I have awkward
Yeah.
conversations that have to happen
Yeah.
with.
yeah, I almost feel
First
like
try,
different wigs, you know?
first trial of Wayback Cave, complicated social gathering.
For real. Okay.
Okay. Drew. I'll pick him up baby style. Pieta style. Drew?
Oh, hi.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, it's my friends. Hi.
Love my sweet baby boy, Drew.
Ariel. It's been a long time.
I'm
Hi,
doing
sweet.
great. How are you doing, Drew? Oh my
Drew,
god.
can I put you down? Can you stand?
Okay, yeah, I can send.
He sort of stands and brushes himself off, reclips one of the overall buttons that had sort of fallen behind his back.
What all y'all been up to? It's been a minute. I learned how to play kids.
Wow. That's cool, Drew.
Yeah,
We've been poking around, adventuring, doing some stuff.
cool.
How's the kingdom?
You know, ruling with an iron fist.
Nice. Gotta keep him under your thumb.
He sort of like looks over at Sildar and says,
I think he's the best servant I've ever had.
Nice.
Remember to treat your subjects well.
Of course, dignity and respect at all times.
How about old fart machine? Let's,
You can't just.
Well, Sildar told me that he's not actually being nice to me when he acts like he's being nice to me, and I'm trying to see it from here and there, but I don't know, mostly confuses me. As he says he's not being mean, but then he is kind of mean. I don't know. It's confusing.
Drew, I think yes. Something to live by is to treat yourself with respect and treat others similarly, and expect the same respect from others.
It's gotta
But
be
you
a
have-
pithier way to put that.
Yeah, I don't know, some sort of.
you can see he's
Anyway.
like sort of parsing the different like bits of the sentence together.
All right, yeah. God, it's been a minute since I had such a smart conversation with somebody.
Sure. I just, like,
Really stretching me to my
body
limits
is a
here.
temple.
It's
Don't
just, we're really excited to see you, Drew.
It's
It's
Yeah,
always a
good
great
to see.
pleasure.
He sort of like runs
I-
over and gives you like a hug around one of your shins.
Oh.
I lean over.
As he's sort of
to the
leaning there, he's like
glass.
playing with the shoelaces on your boots, just like idly. Weird little
I-
man. Okay.
I lean over to Glass and just say, Are you sure we can't just teach him to kill? Are you sure?
No.
I feel like if we leave him here long enough, when we come back at, say, like, I don't know, the end of the campaign, he's gonna be like a brain genius. Just like, so he's gonna be.
Yeah.
Level
Just like-
20 Droop. What's
What's-
that look like?
If we teach him to kill, that's totally going to ruin his chances at the election. So, like,
true.
we need to make sure he's the perfect candidate.
He's got to be the king of Phandalin. That's true. Okay, so as you are all sort
Stop
of
up the
sitting around
stairs.
chatting with that, you see that Sister Garrely's sort of sitting in the corner, just sort of tenting her fingers together. At this point, tall to the point where like she's sort of like hunched over in the room, just sort of standing there like this massive statue in an otherwise crowded room. So,
Sorry, we had to catch up with our little baby boy.
no, that's okay. It was pretty cute. What are we doing here? I feel like the longer we sit here, the more anxious I get about whatever you said about there not being a body and there just being like a mouth.
Let's
Okay.
not have him out.
Oh,
We've
oh
got the
god,
whole
that's so much
head.
better. Okay.
Don't worry. No, we did. Oh my god. Do you think we just like?
I don't
Rip
know
the
what I
lips
thought.
off?
It was
Ugh.
bad.
Hey, it's cool. It's cool. No, we're not. We're not completely gross.
Okay. Well, let's do this thing. And she sort of
Let's
like
do it. Yeah.
sits down cross-legged and reaches sort of inside of her cloak and out of like a leather satchel
let's-
pulls this large tome.
We're in the room now.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is
okay.
up in the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as she sort of like scoots some of the things aside, you watch as Droop sort of like rushes over into one of the corners and like sees something under a bed and gets sort of stuck with his butt up in the air, like sort of trying to scramble underneath the bed. And she's just sort of ignoring that as she flips through pages and begins to lay her book to her side and then grasps her holy symbol and just sort of shuts her eyes, and it goes quiet in the room for a moment. Yeah. Quiet in the room for a moment. Dun, 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 dun. And she sits for a moment, and her eyes flick open, and they are just solid white and glowing. Bring before me that which with you would like me to speak. And she sort of just, as she's sitting there, she doesn't look like she's floating off of the ground, but all of her clothing that's sort of crumpled along her body, long and baggy, just sort of very lightly, almost seems to have a weightlessness to it.
Cool.
And she just sort of turns with her head, and the eyes have almost no definition in them, just solid glowing white. And she doesn't jump or start, she just sort of reaches out and grasps the head and sets it just before her, almost in a trance-like state. Before I contact the spirit of this one long gone, I must know what are the questions you wish to ask. And I believe she gets, I think it's 5 questions, but let me make sure.
5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
team, let's huddle.
Okay.
Yeah.
One for sure is.
And also I need to know which of the 2 heads. This is the doppelganger?
This is
Yeah.
doppelganger, yeah.
Definitely how many Black Spider forces are at Wave Echo Cave?
Mhm.
I will say, there's no reason that this doppelganger who would recognize us would tell us anything useful.
Right.
Yeah.
Except that she's dead and she doesn't have anything to lose at this point. But
Yeah.
It's her prerogative, though.
yeah.
Take everything with a grain of salt.
I would ask, who are you disguised as? Who were you disguised as when we caught up with you?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Because I doubt that was an original character.
Mm-hmm.
Do not steal. She did steal. Is what I'm saying.
Their life.
Yeah, that's a problem. Do you want to ask why she was following you, Oleander? Or it or they?
I think so. Here's my thought. I don't know whether she was the one who was following me. That could have been somebody else who just she decided to look like. So I
Yeah,
feel like
we don't know for sure.
asking who she is will help kind of slice through that Gordian knot at once.
Sure. Yeah.
We should ask how far along the Black Spider's plans are in regards to accessing whatever it is they're trying to get to at Wave Echo Cave. I assume the magic forge.
Yeah. How close is the Black Spider to, I don't know, unlocking the Forge of Spells?
Yeah. I had written down asking about Castle Cragmaw, but that's if we only have a limited number. That's pretty far down on our list, so we've got 2 more.
So far I have who were you disguised as, how far along are the Black Spider's plans, and then how close to the Forge of Spells is the Black Spider within Wave Echo Cave? Was that the 3 questions you had?
I think
missed
that
one?
last one, those last 2 are one question.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
how quick
I thought it was like how far along are they in Wave Echo Cave, and also how big are their forces? I think it was the
Okay.
Maybe just because it could lead us to another question. Could we ad-lib a question based on some of the answers?
Yeah.
It might be
Okay.
good to have
You
one
would
or
just have to
two
communicate
free
it to the sister, but yes.
Yeah. So it would be, I think, just like a good question would just be like, what did you desire? Just to figure out what this thing's motive, what this character's motives were.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, she could have been, like, we could even ask who. Yeah. You're saying who you disguise as. We could ask her, who are you?
Yeah.
Just 'cause- Sorry,
What did you desire is good though, because that could indicate if like, oh, this is a creature brought to life by like the Black Spider, then we also
Right.
know that the Black Spider has the ability to do this kind of thing. So
Mm.
Sure.
I think that's a solid question.
Did we figure out? I think Ambrose rolled a high Arcana on the doppelganger earlier. Did we know if are doppelgangers like created, or are they a creature born from the wild?
thought they were like a really rare like race.
Someone go ahead and make an Arcana or History check, because I don't remember what the roll was.
Yeah.
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 Let me do it. I'll do Arcana because that seems the most relevant.
Okay.
That's a 21.
21.
Wow.
They are creatures that have existed for a very long time and procreate similarly to other creatures, but with some scary twists, and that's probably about all I know.
Wow, cool.
But they are definitely not like, they're not like lab created or like born from like a magical mishap or something like that. They're just another sort of race that almost parasitically seems to sort of take the form of those with which it needs to assimilate and then use to procreate, collect wealth, improve their standing, etc.
Yeah. Did we want to ask what other alliances the Black Spider might be having, considering that they have an alliance with this Bear King? Like, who else is working with
Yeah.
this Black Spider?
That might be good, yeah.
Yeah.
Because this could be a lot bigger than just this. This Black Spider could just be like, you know,
Yeah.
a capo in an organization or something.
Yeah.
I don't have a specific idea with this, but I could still, just because it is in my toolkit, I could still turn myself into King Groll if we wanted to make me look like I was a live captive, if we thought that would give us any leverage for any situation. But I really don't. I don't have any, nothing comes to mind.
I worry that the head will not even come alive and that will just be speaking through Tamora.
Yeah.
I think it can see. I don't know.
Like,
Oh,
we're
sure.
saying talking to the dead. It could just be like a phone line.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I would almost say you disguise yourself as King Groll and the others of us like just leave the room. So it would seem like King Groll is in control of this priestess of Tamora.
That's
Maybe.
that's
But then-
not a bad idea.
Hmm.
How much do we know about? How much would Ambrose know about this kind of magic?
Or can you answer?
like
Can we ask
the speak with dead spell specifically?
Yeah. Like if this would be something that would work.
Make an Arcana check. I will say it's a pretty normal DC, but since you really roll well in general, but this is holy magic that you don't do, and it's also necromancy that I don't think you have any spells in that category. except for
I
maybe
do
a
actually
cantrip.
told the yeah. I
will say
got a
that
17.
this roll will be with disadvantage because it's not specifically magic that you study or
Oh.
are even capable of learning.
Okay, so roll twice then.
Yeah.
Okay. 17.
17. And that's why I said disadvantage, because it's still really good.
My second one was a 20, so
I-
glad.
I'm sorry to suck the natural 20. That's always the worst.
As they say.
I don't know what turn phrase that was, but
Sorry.
we're not gonna dwell on it. Thanks
Go
for
on.
pointing it out.
No worries.
You would know that this spell can take many forms. Sometimes it is a out loud conversation. Sometimes it's telepathic. Sometimes it's one used as a vessel, the other speaking through. Sometimes it is just knowledge that is passed between caster and the target. Sometimes it is a full-on like mental reverie. You're unsure. What exactly are you trying to know about the spell?
Just if a third party would have an influence on the conversation.
You would probably believe that whatever was brought back would have sentience and vision of the situation at hand, as they would have in life. However, the only person able to communicate directly with it or speak to it in any way, shape, or form would be the caster, because it is it's basically a closed connection. Verbally, but the thing brought back to life can't see its environment. If it has eyes, I guess.
So we could build the impression that a fake Groll would be in control.
Yeah, so you would get the idea that, like, if you wanted to create some sort of scene to assist your falsehoods, then that would possibly be helpful.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. This is no. I don't want to metagame. Go.
We're
Go
good.
to
Don't worry. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
I'm gonna transform myself into King Groll,
Okay.
looking at her.
As you do, you now have this massive, grizzled, old, muscular bugbear standing in the room with you, clad in heavy, terrifying spiked armor.
It's not real, Droop.
Is he
As
still
Droop is sort of shuffling under the bed still and turns and goes, "Ah!" bonks his head on the underside of the bed, and then his head immediately hits the floor, and
my
he's
God.
back out again.
Oh,
And the legs
Wow.
just go slack behind
You
him.
wanted to be here,
yeah. He doesn't need to see any of this anyway.
truly.
All right, shall we interview a dead doppelganger?
Do we have all of our 5 questions?
I believe so. I've written down 5.
Okay.
Um,
Good then.
I'll just.
Yeah.
How many are in Black Spider's forces at Wave Echo Cave?
We'll just do them one at a time. That's fine.
Okay.
As
okay.
Sister Garrely's sort of seated on the ground, and we'll say that this is probably, aside from you transforming and having a few conversations, the first sort of time you've answered her. He just says, "In what way would you like me to contact this departed?"
Do you have a list of options?
The normal way. We want to
What
talk.
questions would you wish to pose?
Oh.
Got it. That kind of isn't what you asked.
Gods.
What is it that this creature desires? Start
Des-
there.
yeah, desired.
Desired.
And you watch as she sort of takes the head that she had sort of set to the side and places it in front of her, and then sort of resumes her stance, seated, legs crossed on the ground, her robe sort of very slowly, almost floating up around her, her hair just sort of lifting with this
Stand behind her a
breeze
minute.
that doesn't exist. And she sort of stares, her white, sightless eyes looking into equally milky, cataracted, now long dead eyes of this doppelganger on the ground. The first question was, how many are in the forces? Is that correct?
What is it that this creature
What
desires?
is it the creature desires? Awaken and tell me what it is that you desire. And you watch as the head is still and doesn't seem to be responding. And then the eyes
Oh,
roll over and point directly at Sister Garrely. And as the jaw opens, the head almost tilts back. And without moving the jaw so as to speak, there's just this whisper that sort of escapes the mouth. It just says, "I wanted power. I wanted to serve my house."
okay. There's already another question we could ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone
Feel
someone make a history check for me.
I can. I'm pretty good at history.
High DC on this one, though.
That's fine. Or hopefully. Oh my god, it's a 9. That didn't make it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Next question.
I feel like the how many forces does the Black Spider have at Wave Echo Cave?
Sure.
How many forces does the Black Spider have in Wave Echo Cave? And the eyes sort of scan the room and then look back to her. Who is it that asks the question?
I'm gonna like
Wait,
give-
yeah. I thought that we were doing it so that like it could only see me.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah, yeah.
all sort of circled around behind
Oh,
us.
no,
like,
no.
Sister
We're like-
Carolee and then
Right.
King Groll
We
right
didn't quite
there.
narrate
But
that.
you did set it to where it's just her and then King Groll behind and everybody else is hidden on the other side.
Yeah, we're all sitting on the other side of the.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, this guy can't turn his head.
It doesn't have a neck to
There
turn
it
on, so yeah. In that case, then she asks where the force is, and with that, you watch as she sort of like looks back and forth, not receiving an answer for a moment, and then sort of glances up to you, class, as King Groll, then back down to the figure, and then the head just says,
Many more. Some like me, others different. Slowly thinned against the hordes within.
Great.
Great. Okay.
Hmm.
Should we ask who they were impersonating?
Yeah, who they were disguised as.
and they were disguised as. Who was it that you were disguised as? The face on the head almost contorts into a look of confusion. And the eyes sort of flick up towards you, Glass.
You knew me as Vayreth, do you not recall?
I'm afraid that you talking in not his voice. So yeah, sorry.
Right. I will simply turn away.
I think one more question.
2 more.
2 more? Okay.
Yeah.
Alliances?
What are our options still? Sorry.
Alliances or
Oleander,
How
you look
quick-
like you have a thought.
Hmm?
Oh, Iris just looked like she had something that she was about to say, that's all.
I was going to say, you could probably ask, who does your house owe fealty to? And that way get a better idea of the bigger size of this organization,
Mhm.
as well as, specifically, what the whole house deal is about,
Sure. That
Yeah,
sounds
no, that's solid. Yeah.
if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it does.
my DM sense.
Who is it that your house pledges fealty to? The head sort of rolls back, and the eyes grow wide as the jaw opens even further. And the loudest of the answers yet.
Lolth!
Wanna spell that for me?
Lolth.
Yeah.
All hail, Lolth.
all right. Okay.
Double T.
Hello, double T. Glad we asked that one. Okay. Is it? Do we? I guess the. How close is the black spider to unlocking the Forge of Spells?
Unless we want to switch it out with something else.
The only other thing I could think of is like, sorry to talk out of character.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, trying to think of if there's any way we could get, some other secret of her forces or something like that.
Yeah.
I think
Um,
asking how far away the black spider is probably our best bet.
Sure, that sounds good.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we know where the black spider is.
Yeah.
She's in the forge,
Yeah.
or you know,
Oh, way
is
back, okay.
is that way back?
Oh, you meant the like how far along are they?
Yeah, but would she even know?
Yeah.
It's worth.
Sure.
I'm wondering also if asking, trying to figure out like the right way to phrase this, if there is some kind of code or phrase to confirm alliance with the black spider that we can use to pretend said doppelganger is still alive and send letters. Because I feel like there's also some of this information we could also find out from like conversation like that, but that might be too.
That feels like it's going out on a limb.
Yeah.
It would be. I mean, I see where you're going. Like a passcode or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how we could get it from her.
Yeah, that's. I was trying to figure out how.
You
to,
could just ask, "What's the secret password?"
Yeah.
Please.
What's the special word of the day?
Swordfish.
It's always
Onion.
swordfish. Okay. Last question. What are we doing?
Favorite color.
Do we feel like the what alliances does Black Spider have? Was that question replaced by the who do you owe fealty to?
Oh no, I think that's a good question.
It might be different answers.
Speaking of, everybody make if you're proficient in religion, make a religion check.
Ooh, yeah, I am proficient in religion, I believe.
I don't have
I'm
proficiency,
a little
but my
proficient.
stat is pretty high.
Yeah, sure.
Should I roll anyway?
I got a 17, baby.
Hey.
Okay. Lolth is the Spider Queen, highest in the Drow pantheon. Basically, this big, scary spider woman that most Drow worship.
Cool. Okay, that makes sense. Interesting that the doppelgangers, I guess this doppelganger wasn't just disguised as a drow. They were working with the drow, or at least had an alliance with the drow of some sort.
Yeah.
Wild.
Okay. Huh.
And I would say if you know that, you would probably also know that house is usually used to sort of differentiate between different branches of drow. Drows are divided
Okay.
by houses.
Okay, so is this the question is this a doppelganger that thinks it's a drow, or is it a separate thing? But that might not be a good question to ask.
Yeah. I think we
Yeah.
can figure that out ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
No, I don't know. Forces. Or we asked that one. Sorry.
What about
Yeah, the last one was how, like, essentially how close are the plans to completion, but I don't know if that'll change our course of action. That
Yeah.
is the thing.
what's the best way we could carry on your work?
That's a good one.
Ooh.
Because then it gains their trust a little bit, and then we know exactly what not to do.
Yep.
What's the best way to carry on your work?
I think that's pretty solid.
That's
Yeah.
clever as shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not, I will turn back as King Grohl and get up close, like I'm listening.
Okay. What is the best way that we could carry on your work? And the head tilts back slightly.
Destroy the map, kill the dwarf, and return to the cave.
And with that, the head rolls onto one side and then begins to crumple inward in black ash. And nothing is left but just the sort of half bowl remnants of part of the outside of the skull, which, as soon as one of you moves in the room, the slight wind sort of knocks it into black ash that scatters across the floor.
Man.
And with that, did you get what you wanted?
We got some leads, yes.
I
Thank
think
you
we
so
definitely
much for your
did.
help.
I give her a handkerchief.
Thank you. She sort of like wipes some sweat from her brow. She looks like she is taxed at this point.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
This was
that,
very valuable.
that's really going to help us out.
Yeah.
And it's really going to help this town out. I'm sorry that we asked you to do such a gross thing,
No,
but we really appreciate it.
Really, it's okay. You're doing a lot. Every time you come back into town, and well, especially when you're gone, you're kind of all anybody can talk about. And we're all, I don't know, we're all really looking up to you, and I guess a little confused as to why you chose Phandalin to protect. But we're really glad that you're here.
Everybody deserves protecting.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Doesn't matter whether some place is big or small.
I guess I'm just surprised with the shrine and all my prayers how, I don't know, I guess how Phandalin got so unlucky to get wrapped up in all this, but I guess that's just Bashaba for you.
Well, whatever we can do to try to make things better, we'll do.
Alright.
Cool.
I think I feel a little woozy, probably from this and the champagne. That was a little
Yeah.
weird together.
Did you want a couple of us to like help you get home? Okay, safe and sound.
Do you need a bag?
If you want to
I'm gonna
walk
pick-
in the rain, you can, but I think I should be okay.
I'm gonna pick Droop up on him and say, "This guy needs to go back to his kingdom."
Yeah.
Because he's just like,
Oh, but he wants to stay in the fancy hotel for a night.
If we want to stay here for a night, he can. I didn't know
Stay at the hotel for a night.
he can stay.
Cool.
Put him at
He
the
can
foot.
stay.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
He's probably be like, "Yes."
Who wants to help Mr. Garrely get home?
I brought her here. I can help her home.
I'll walk
"Welcome,
downstairs.
Amber," and she sort of holds her arm out for you to sort of wrap yours in.
Isn't she like 7 feet?
I was gonna say she's like 7
It's
feet tall,
not
so
this
I-
high. I'm just trying to get it on
Yeah.
camera.
I'm just like, yeah.
I don't have a vertically aligned camera here. All right. Well, if you need my help again, just let me know. But I probably can't do that again, at least till tomorrow morning. Also,
That's totally fine. You've given us more than enough.
if y'all get hurt out there, just, I don't know. I got your back. Tomorrow's got your back. Oh, wait. Hang on. There was something I wanted to give you. And she sort of reaches into one of her pockets and takes out what just looks like a small little pebble and says, This will probably be good for at least one of you. I don't know.
Oh.
Here. That's just from Phandalin.
Don't put it in your friggin' mouth! I swear!
I want to sing.
And as she
What?
begins to descend the stairs with you, Ambrose, she's just like,
Yeah.
I wonder if that would work better or worse if you swallowed it.
Oh my god. Maybe
I
we'll have
mean,
to put it in our
there's-
mouth.
You gotta tell me what it is, because there's only one way to find out.
Oh, it's a luck stone. You've probably seen them around before.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Just a little piece of tomorrow to keep you happy. And as you make your way back out into the rain, you walk her home and make your way back over. At the same time, Glass, you sort of make your way back over to the jail, drop Droop off. Or is he staying with you? It's up to you.
He's gonna stay with me, but I was gonna go downstairs to see if Elmond is still up.
Sure. We are about 20 minutes over time. So let's pick that up at the start of the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
As
a good
you
place to
were
call
all-
it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're all sort of walking everybody home and getting ready for last
Stay
little
fit.
things before bed. we'll go ahead and call it for the evening. Yes.
I thought just so that we end, end the night. This is
If it's just a quick thing, let's do it.
if I didn't see him there, that he'd maybe already gone to bed or something, I would leave a picture on the piano and just say like, "Let's talk in the morning."
Okay, yeah. As you look into the bar, it's mostly cleaned up. You can see that Topple's just sort of behind the bar, putting away the last bits of like clean glassware that's already been done, cleared out. You guys were up there for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. As you leave your note and your picture, you'll see what that brings tomorrow as you make your way back upstairs and into comfortable beds for the first time in a while. And Sildar sort of bids you all good night and slips into his adjacent room, and Gundren goes with him.
Woo!
Not with him. Cool. And with that, we will go ahead and call it an evening. Thank you everybody for sticking with us. Kind of a long episode there, but fun. Lots of exposition, lots of figuring things out.
Yeah.
And next time, I think it's time we go on another big adventure.
Yeah.
Ooh, fun.
All right. Good job, everybody.
Do we have any donations?
I think it's time to check.
And thank you to I don't know you personally, but thanks to the Adventure Archive for rating us earlier.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so much of emoji in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Kind of came out at the tail end, but I hope you'll follow us and check out our adventures.
It always sounds so violent.
Yeah.
I'm not locked in on the help action.
Woo.
Check it.
Man, that talk with Halia up with the carrier pigeons and everything felt so like Berlin in the 60s.
Yeah, yo, that's some like
Yeah.
spycraft shit. You're like in a noir movie over here, Bree.
If you can't log in, Evan, I can see the donation we got.
Yeah, do you want to just do them tonight? Go for it.
Yeah.
I was about halfway done, but go ahead. It's easier this way.
Okay. Just from Perryton Jerky, to whichever character gets this question, what's the weirdest food you've ever eaten? So who wants to roll? I can roll.
Go for it.
Great.
All right.
Wait,
that's
you have to
that's
decide which number is whose.
We'll do the same one as before.
Yeah. So 2.
Two is
Okay.
glass.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest food Glass has ever eaten?
The weirdest food Glass has ever eaten. Man. I mean, God, what an on-the-spot question. I mean, I think Tabaxi cuisine is pretty, like what you find kind of stuff. I think probably the weirdest thing Glass ever ate was probably some sort of like sickness medication thing that was like made from like, I don't know, mom's hairball or some shit like that.
Oh, that's how you
Ew.
know that your parents really love you.
Oh, like
Yeah.
what are
What?
those stones?
Bezoars.
Yeah, Bezoars.
Is that what goes into Rooster's thing?
So this is fascinating. So Bezoars used to be magical gemstone sort of things. They were originally Persian myth. And the
Yeah.
idea was they came from griffin skulls, and they would allow you to, they would give you immunity from disease. They would be powerful healing things. Bezoar also came to refer to, or no, it was found in their stomachs.
Yeah, it was
And then-
the stomach.
Bezoars would eventually come to refer to any like hard, undigestible object that was found in a creature's stomach.
Usually it's like hair.
Yeah, a trichinobezoar is the scientific term for a giant ball of hair stuck in people's stomachs.
Yeah. Or a pharma Bezoar, which is one that's made up of undigested medicine.
There you go.
Mm.
Wow.
There's your disgusting fact for the day.
Yeah.
The
Tune in
more
next
you
week.
know.
So yeah, probably just imagine teenage Glass sweating it out in a little hut.
As
like
mom's like over the front of you, like, that's horrible. And on that note, donate to Transgender Law Center today.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do it.
We will be back next week, back on schedule for Wednesday, May 5th. It is.
Wow.
It's gonna be May. Very exciting. And yeah, we'll see you then. Looking forward to it. Anything else anybody wanted to talk about before we kill it for the night? That was it for donations, right? We just
the one, yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very
Sick.
much for that.
Stay frosty.
Yeah, wash your hands and be good to each other.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for
Pizza
sticking with us.
video.
See you later.
Love you very much. Bye.